they're wrong. It's just there's no killing in Survivor.
She was the Hunger Games.
Alice doesn't know that.
Sister.
We're talking about actually playing the game.
There's no, you can't kill
Someone
someone.
went to the east, bro.
Okay, then I'm gonna break everyone's shins. How about that?
That's also
I don't
not
know if
allowed in
the producers
Survivor.
would yeah, the producers wouldn't let you get kicked off.
But that's the thing. Is like everyone's gonna, for some reason, be like, "It's okay. She's fine. Just help her." But she's gonna keep breaking some shins.
I don't think Alice would win Survivor at all.
No, Alice would not win Survivor.
No.
But she'd kill. But then she'd kill everybody if she wasn't gonna
Voted
win.
off first.
Thegus would not do well in the physical challenges.
Thegus wouldn't do well in the physical challenges, but if we're talking about the fact that we can use magic.
This is also John doesn't understand the
I'm
premise.
saying cantrips only.
Done. I fucking
Woody's
told
an
the dead.
expert on Survivor.
He'd be great at the swimming parts.
While we're on the topic of Thegus,
Phoebus.
Hannah, why
Yes.
is Thegus in the cuck chair behind you?
I don't know what you
He
mean.
likes to watch. Damn it. He likes to watch. Jesus.
He put himself there? Because it looks like he's in a cuck chair right now.
Mic up, I think.
That
I
is.
realize I should be
Welcome to
watching.
Bards After Dark.
Can you all hear
everyone.
me now?
Hi.
Oh my God, hi.
It's probably
I
better.
didn't see that.
Oh hey, we didn't see
I
you there.
genuinely, I forgot to put the stream.
Hello.
Thank
Hello,
you guys
everyone.
for being here with us. This is the Fabled Bards After Dark. If you have not been with us for one before, we hang out, we answer some questions that you want to know about, we answer some questions you don't want to know about, like how would Alice do on Survivor?
She would just fundamentally misunderstand the assignment.
I think she would hate having to sleep in like squalor. Like Princess wouldn't. I don't know. She'd crush, and then she would not be great at making friends and allies.
I'm sorry. The game is called Survivor.
You sound like you're
Survivor.
fucking
Have you watched it?
No, but neither would Alice. So, if the goal is to survive,
Wait,
if
John,
everyone
you've never watched Survivor?
No, because it's my classic issue. Everyone says, John, watch this, so I go, that's a thing I'm never gonna do now.
Yeah.
It's the champion fatal flaw.
Hey,
One of many.
John, stay in Boston.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Reverse
But
psychology.
then it's like, okay, yeah, I will. It only works if I don't want to do it. It's weird. It's bad. It's terrible. A bunch of you lived with William, so like you know this. This is
Will
known.
said these exact words to
Will
me
is-
about Survivor, where it's like, I just can't get over the fact that they're not surviving. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, Will. But now he likes it. Like, he
He's
watches
said
it
that
and he
so
loves
many
it.
times.
But originally, before he got
He
into
wants
it,
to
he's
watch,
like,
like, Naked
they're
and
not
Afraid."
surviving. Like I want them to feel like they're about to die.
Well,
watch
there's
Naked and
also
Afraid.
There's a show about like
Exactly.
one guy who just like does that and just like
It's still
chills.
alone, and it's a great show. It's a very different vibe, though.
But
What's that
anyway,
show- What's that show where the guy eats poison mushrooms and then shits himself on camera?
my Thursday night, is that what you were referring to?
I think that's The Last of Us, actually.
Oh,
Fuck!
No, he gets
Is that
eaten
not
by
what that
mushrooms.
is? Chat, would
Okay.
your D&D character survive Survivor? Win Survivor?
I want us, for everyone, for your characters, hold your hand up if you think your character would make it to the merge. This means nothing to you, John.
Ooh,
Would your character-
Absolutely, because everyone's
Alice did
dead.
not make it to the merge.
Everyone's dead.
Would your character make it to like the final 5?
Oh, please. Absolutely. Everyone's
I see
dead.
you, Drew. Would your character make it to the top 3?
100%. Everyone's dead.
oh,
Vegas?
I see JB, huge physical threat, but I could see JB making
No.
it if JB can make it to fire making. I see a Keno, Sinov, JB final tribal.
I put my hand
I see
down for the final 3 because
Quiddy
I
raised
think
their
that
hand for
once like
Best
he'll
of
make
Love.
it to 5 because like he does help in the physical challenges, but he's also has like a bunch of other like really good qualities and is very nice. But then once we get to the time where you're actually like turning on people, everybody's gonna turn on JB because they're gonna be like, because he's gonna win the popular vote.
Yeah, that's why
I
you make
think
it to.
I
If
think
you make
everyone
it
would
there.
love Thegus. And I think he would do a really good job at winning everybody over, and then he have magic.
And he's
I
a
don't know what
great
we're-
liar. He's a fucking
And he's a
liar.
great liar.
Guys, I think you're all missing a fundamental part of this game. Because everyone's dead. And Illus is dead.
That's not the game, John.
John, that's a different.
I,
That's Squid Games meets like.
I can
That's
pull up the
Alone.
dictionary
Gladiator.
definition of survivor right now. It's just what I'm going to do. It's fine.
Drew, how do you see it going down for you?
Well, I mean, Drew would not win, but Keno.
No,
No,
no, no.
I'm kidding.
Disagree. I think Drew could very well win.
I think you do
Survivor.
really well.
Yeah,
know,
conversely, John's not making it.
He's not afraid to manipulate. He's not afraid to be. He's not afraid to be dirty if he needs to be. So I think he could work his way to the top. He's got a little bit of charm too, so he could riz some people up. He might not win, but he would work very hard to win.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. I like this.
All right.
I
Well,
think Sonov would win.
yeah, I literally the words out of my mouth were about to be, I think Sonov would win.
100,000%.
I really do.
And I can picture the like highlight reel of her time there, like doing the Jack Sparrow run in the
On the
challenge.
beach like Jack Sparrow.
Watching you
You get
jump
off the boat in the
platform
beginning
into
and run.
water, but just fully belly flopping.
Oh my god,
That would also be
That guy.
me.
who was that one guy?
Oh, Chet, who dove into the water like this.
Chet.
Chat. Wow, you're bringing back some older. That Chet is a character I hadn't thought about, but
You know, probably
that's-
after I finish this stream tonight, Sarah and I are going to watch Survivor because we're behind.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm behind too.
Nice. It's a great season. It's a great season.
Speaking
Yeah.
of this stream, do we want to get started?
I guess
Yeah.
so. Hi, everyone.
That was our cold open.
It's fine at 6:30.
Sitcom.
Half an hour later.
Hey, and it's 6:30. Yeah, thank you, John.
Perfect.
Somebody say like a one-liner to end it. The cold open.
Well, we have
And I guess in the
John
end, they were all survivors.
Okay.
I guess they were. Hey, John, you look like you're about to drop like a fucking Arthur Miller monologue right now.
Yeah, John. Everyone, for those of you watching, when John got into this chat with us, the first thing I said to John was, "Hey, what side did you bring for this audition?"
And I did. And I brought side 2. And everyone's been really mean to me about it. No one's been nice. So it's fine.
It feels as if you didn't prepare for the audition.
I was dropping in and you guys cut me off.
You can't just memorize words.
Yeah, you have to live the page.
You also can't worry about the feelings of the people behind the table. You have to just do you at your audition, you know.
I know, and I did. And I said I was the cat man, okay? And everyone said, no, John, you're not the cat man. And now here we are.
I didn't believe you.
You're the
Yeah,
Eggman.
that's fair. I can't argue with that.
I thought he was
I'm a
Rat
lizard guy.
Daddy.
Everyone knows.
So,
Hi,
can I ask
friends.
a question?
Welcome to Bards of New York. And this is Bards After Dark. It's usually an actual play D&D stream where sometimes we actually play D&D. We're not going to play D&D today. We are going to do something we haven't done since 2024,
Oh.
which is answer a bunch of questions that y'all have submitted via our Discord server. If you're not familiar, come join our Discord, but we do this once in a while stream where you all submit lore questions or clarification questions or just questions about the bards, and usually the chat chimes in with answers about their characters or themselves or what they think's going on with the story that's currently happening. And it's also an opportunity for us to get our silliness out so that we don't do as many SEAL Team 6s.
And yet,
Yeah.
And
We
yet,
should try to make this more of a regular thing.
I
Yeah.
love that.
There was a lot of questions to go through. I'm going to apologize in advance. We are not getting to all of them.
There were 400.
You guys are
it's
amazing.
400.
You submitted nearly 400 questions.
Too inquisitive.
So
Today.
we were like, we can either do all 400 yes or no answers only, and I don't think anyone would be happy about that. So we're doing some of them. Please keep submitting them, and we'll do more Bards After Darks. But I'm gonna start with a question, if we're good to start, that's for everyone. And I'm looking at the stream, and like going around it, I see Dan, Hannah, Woody, John, Drew, me, Kyle. So I think we'll go in that order.
Me, Kyle.
Shit, I gotta go first.
Me,
Yeah.
Kyle.
Will you call
This
our
is the
names? Because I'll
opposite
forget
of when
that.
I.
Yes.
This is the
Right,
opposite when I
right, Kyle.
test the sound.
I was just like, because I'm here, but on the screen it's flipped. It's fine. So the first question, this is for everyone, is what moment from this campaign or past campaigns do you find yourself thinking about most often? And everyone in chat, answer for yourself if you feel comfortable sharing.
And I'm starting.
Yes.
I think there are some moments from the home campaign I played in college with Drew and Woody and Will, and there's a specific fight that we all fought against the thing called the Jackal that I remember very heavily. Remember that? I also, truthfully, for those of you that have watched the previous campaign, the moment where Will said I would follow you into 1,000 iterations or whatever, I forget the specific thing, but it's a sticker as well, or it was. I remember that very dearly because it was a very nice moment between me and Will, and also between those characters that had a lot of wonderful little moments. I just realized these glasses, you can see what's on my screen. You can see all the porn I'm watching.
Wow. Can't believe you have 3 monitors of just that, Dan.
Yeah.
You didn't have to dox yourself
Anyway,
like
okay.
that.
Who's next?
It would be Hannah.
Oh, it's
on the
me?
screen.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
For me, I think for Ballad of the Nightmare Crew, I think about the line episode and the line conversation with Callias, and then also that kind of like, I think it was the episode after when it was like one of the first like interparty conflict moments where some people didn't want to do it, some people did, and we had to, navigate that and role play through that, and it was just really fun. I really like those spicy moments. I think about those all the time. The one with Ember later on with everyone, with Callias getting really, really mad and everybody airing their anger towards Ember. And then, yeah, I mean, for Dark Age, there are so many moments that I couldn't narrow it down right now. But so far, I think one of the ones that's been playing for me recently has been so many moments from episode 35 and just like the great role play that everybody brought to the table that evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll be back.
Love that.
Ava wants to be let out of the studio.
That'd be big.
Do it. Woody, you are up. Do you need me to repeat the question or you got it?
No, I think I got it. I think for me, I think it's recency bias because I think I'm going to start playing a little bit here this summer now that my school year is coming to an end. And I've been thinking about the beginning of Battle of the Nightmare Crew and just like how it started and thinking about all y'all's characters. Sorry, John, fuck you.
Fuck you, John.
So fast.
And yeah, just like especially like in that barn when everybody kind of came together and Leonidas had his first like echo moment and all of that, and everybody just kind
I
of
do remember that.
feeling, and then like on the sand skiff going into the gleaming wastes. Yeah, those early episodes, just remembering all that, and I've been thinking about that a lot recently. And then in the Dark Age is the fucking Kessel Run, aka the Shoot the Gap, whatever, the Dragon Gap.
Yeah. Storm's Gap.
Whatever. Storm Gap, yeah, that's it. That episode, I was locked the fuck in just watching it.
Oh, that's cute.
That was a really fun one. Jonathan.
Oh shit. For like all time, granted, this I'll hop on this again because it's the reason I love D&D and I play it. Was years ago a home game. Dan, Woody, specifically Hannah, just making a group decision behind everyone's back. and then getting the dog shit kicked out of me because of it.
No.
And then that it marks the moment I was like, oh, I get D&D. I understand why it's interesting, and the role play behind that, it just really clicked. I think about that often. I think I've mentioned it a couple times at other Bards After Darks, and at during Dark Age when Mr. Arcturus showed up.
And when we got
From
the
this
Krampus and we wanted to blow it up.
I'm gonna do it again. It's fine. But yeah, so it's been coming up a lot more recently since we've been in Calanthus. From Dark Age, chapter 21 stays haunting me. Hi, Rachel. It's good to see you. But that's a big one that always kicks around. Like you said, Hannah, 35 Jish Money. He's really taken up a huge amount of brain space. I find thinking about Jish Money and Decima all the time. It's fine, but then I guess I'll do one from each. Ballad of the Nightmare Crew. I do always the whole. I don't want to spoil too much for people, but I don't remember the episode, but that the item, the Will's item that Woody forgot, and then how that all went down.
Oh,
that whole session, peak D&D.
I forgot about
Peak.
that.
I simply cannot. I think about it and I remember wanting to vomit at the table. And then of course the Soulstone. I forgot that was also in that thing. That was the first time it just knocked the wind out of me and really so those are the ones that immediately rattle off when I think of really memorable moments from campaigns.
Yeah. All good ones. Drew.
Yeah, I have a few. I mean, one that I always bring up is from our home campaign. We were escaping from a town, or not a town, a city called Kunlat, and
oh my God.
We should have died. We shouldn't have made it, but each of us rolled like consecutive natural 20s, and we made it out alive. And somehow only Will's character lost an arm, and we were vibing, and it was just the most like epic moment I've ever experienced.
I think
fond memory
about that from Will, from you guys, like just hearing that escape. I'm like, oh shit! I feel like that's crazy. Wow.
It was harrowing.
Hey, John.
Ballad of the Nightmare.
Yeah, John.
Memory was
Chill with the spoon, John.
The spoon is loud as fuck.
Sorry, Drew.
Right by the computer.
Stop trying to show off that you're British and you're having tea right now.
Yeah. Sorry, John.
He's having a little Boston tea party.
I was really excited. I loved hearing what you had to say. I'm so sorry.
Boston Tea Party is wild.
Ballad of the Nightmare Crew. It was very early in the game. We were in Camden Mesa, I think, and we were all disguised in like a town square or whatever, and we all decided to pull out some fucking instruments and sit around and pretend to play these instruments, and all of us were pretty bad at it, except for Lilith, because of course Lilith played instruments. But like, oh, actually, I don't even think you played. Did you even play at that point? Now that I think about it, I think you didn't play and everyone else played.
Not. No, she was like, I'm gonna draw in a journal because I'm not a fucking freak.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that shit was wild. But yeah, that was one of my favorite moments. It was a very, very good time. I mean, there's many others, but yeah, that's just some of my favorites.
Some that stick out. It's me.
You've had so much time.
I know. So I'm going to go in order. 21, obviously, for a lot of reasons. In that I constantly, like, I'll be sitting on the train or I'll be trying to fall asleep, and I'm like, what if, like, Lenore didn't say it like that? You know? Like, what if the fight had gone differently? Or then I think, like, about the very end of 21, and I'm like, what if she said no? You know? And it's just, like, thinking about how everything worked out. With Ballad of the Nightmare Crew, I think a lot about, like, what Woody and I had talked about before I guessed the first time as Desi, and how much, like, trust Woody put in me, and was just like, if you can drop this, if you can do this, but, like, have fun with it. And that was really special and just really fun, because for me, it felt almost like a little love letter to each of your characters that I had gotten to just watch and like be excited about you guys for like 3 years. That was very special for me. From our home game, a really ridiculously dumb thing I did, I think about all the time. Woody, I don't know if you remember this. I, as Winona, cast Disguise Self and then snuck into my own home to see my sister Lydia. And then you, as Lydia, stabbed me in the stomach.
I remember this. Wow.
Because I didn't drop the Disguise Self.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
I was like, why did you do that? I just think
Because you're a fucking intruder.
dumb that was and how much fun it was. And I like in our home game, Woody was like playing my sister, and now I am playing sisters with Hannah, and I didn't put that together until just now.
You just want to be a
Connections.
Minshew
Yeah.
sibling.
Wow.
Didn't you say earlier that you feel like you're the like other? Oh no, you think Kyle is the next Minshew sibling.
Sometimes I think Kyle's the next Minshew sibling, but we did get some questions actually about if Hannah and I were secretly actual sisters, and we are not.
There are a lot of family members in this group.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
You
on
and Drew?
our FAQ page.
In fact, we are mostly family members, I think. Or perhaps not. I think we're equal.
Yeah,
I consider us all
Actually,
a family.
We're mostly
great
Yeah,
answer,
We're
Rachel.
4 and 4.
Yeah.
Oh, and Rachel and I are married, so,
yeah,
so
you're
I guess
family.
that counts.
We're our own family.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah. Whoa.
Anadrel in the chat says, "Wow, that took a lot of thought for that math." Okay,
Well,
Thanks.
thank you.
Too long.
it's my turn.
Kyle, it's your turn.
Unless you want to head anymore.
That was my 3.
Amazing. I'll go just like in order of time. Thinking back to our home campaign, so much pops out. For whatever reason, what's coming to me right now was when we were in the realm of like the gods, and we were on a boat.
Oh yeah.
And we were like speeding away from this like megalodon. Do we remember this?
It was the before or after you went to hell? Because remember you went.
It was after we went to hell, because then we were in heaven.
And we hated
Yeah, I
heaven
think
more than
either that
hell.
Or you were on
You
heaven's
did
front
the opposite.
doorstep. You weren't actually in heaven. You were just on you were in the porch.
We were knocking on
Yes.
heaven's door, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, there was a heavenly giant shark, and my character was a monk, and I was able to, as we were moving, because I was so fast, I could run on the water, go, punch the shark in the face, turn around, and then catch back up to the boat
I
in
do
one
remember
turn.
this. Wow.
And that's just a lot of fun. Just fun anime shit that D&D is so great. From Ballad, I won't. There are many things, but everybody has to watch and catch up. I will say, the thing that stands out is when we were in a treasure room, and not treasure room, but like we were in the secret lair, where one of the villains was keeping all of their cool shit.
Oh, that one.
and
The
we-
Gashapon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think it was called The Line Part 2.
I don't.
Was that
remember this.
one, or was that after?
There were
When
two
was
times you
this?
were in that room. That room was a bad place for the night.
I
Are we
leave for
talking
one
about-
fucking day, and everything goes goddamn haywire.
It was Gargalon's home.
Oh yeah, it was Gargalon.
Oh.
It was Gashapon treasury.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah.
Alan.
Just like having like experiencing this like descent into chaos of just like really wanting the shiny thing. Specifically what Ember ended up getting from that situation, and like how much changed and like how much it affected his character, to really like and then it was fun as the player to be able to like think through what my PC was going through and being like, oh wow, like that was a crazy and significant decision that is like traumatic in a way. So yeah, it was just very cool. Dark Age has been like the entire thing is on replay in my head, and on replay when I read the wiki because I I forget so much. I definitely think that one cool thing was when Woody was I guess that's far enough back where it's not too much of a spoiler.
It's like episode 5.
I mean, I'm only in the
leaves.
first like 5 episodes, so if somebody's upset about that, sorry.
When Woody's character is kidnapped by Drew's character, and we got that little like snippet of a voice line from Drew, that I loved that so much. It was such a fun surprise, and I remember it was because it was one of our 7-hour sessions, and we were just like gripping the table, just like, what is happening, all knowing that Woody was not going to be there next week. And then that happened, and it was just wild. So yeah.
Speaking of Drew, I do have to do an honorable mention of that one fight in like verse 3 or 4, where we have E.B. Farnham, and it's the first like sighting of Egg, and like remember E.B. like falls down the stairs, and we give him like stare damage. There were just so many funny things that happened in that fight, and I just remember thinking like, this is the best thing in the world, is to just be with my friends here, and we're all collectively hallucinating and having such a great time. It was a moment of purity for me that I think about a lot.
I won't put in just one. It's from the home game. And most of you, I think, would remember it. Remember when you're in hell and it was the loot fight?
Yes, Woody. Fuck, I remember that very vividly because it was the chain guy.
It was the fight where the longer you stayed, the more loot you'd get, but the more enemies would show up. And at one point, there were like 3 dragons on the field. 2 were fighting each other. It was like all of hell was just like fighting in front of you guys and fighting you guys, and you're like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Well, weren't we also being taken around by like a very Italian?
Everyone,
he wasn't Italian.
Everyone in hell was Italian.
What's it?
I'm sorry. They were not. They weren't Italian. They were New Yorkers.
They were New Yorkers.
They were classic New York Italian American people.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were walking around and like, mi piace.
Yeah.
Buonasera.
Nope, they were Italian Americans.
We will get to talk more about the home game later, Woody. Don't worry.
Okay, all right, that's all I'll say.
I do request the Rock of Gibraltar from our good man John.
Oh God.
Can you do it like it's a 1950s monologue and you're dropped in?
I was gonna say go crouch.
Yeah, ready?
In the
Here we go.
whatever room you're in.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey John.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
We heard you have a little bit of your own monologue to bring in. We'd love to see it. Take as much time as you need.
Thanks so much.
It's your sleep.
We are also on a time crunch, so please it shouldn't take too long.
Hello, my name is Mike Tammy. I'm 6'2". I'm currently based and located in West
Slate. Don't slate. We don't care.
The Rock of Gibraltar. I'm sorry, it was so stupid. Can I start again? Can I do it one more time?
No, that's all the time we have. Thank you.
I think we got it. I think we got it.
I saw everything I need.
Great work.
We'll call you.
The penguin in the couch really appreciates it.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks. That's great.
John revealed his height. John, you're not supposed to reveal your height.
I'm sorry, I was slating, okay? Jeez.
Why aren't we supposed
Maybe
to?
I'm lying.
I
John,
set a
I'm
trap.
putting the rest of your questions for the night.
Maybe I'm lying.
First question is for Hannah.
Yes, it is.
Are you ready?
Give me one sec. Yes, I am now. I gotta edit some stuff, but you asked the question.
Sonov's voice seems to change depending on how serious she's being. You've said previously on Discord that cults infantilize their members. Is the change in tone and pitch and the way Sonov speaks a deliberate choice or a happy accident? I love this question.
Apologies for how the question looks on the overlay, gang. I'll get better at this as I go along.
You're fine.
This is a
It's a
great,
great
question. I don't know who answered it, but thank you. It is a deliberate choice. It was one of the first choices I made when trying to figure out how Sinov sounded and what her accent was and whatnot. I know that just in life in general, femme people tend to be infantilized or unknowingly infantilize themselves, and so we often speak in like higher pitches or in softer tones. And in cults, that happens a lot more. And if you like do some research or like watch cult documentaries, you'll find that a lot of people will talk about when they leave cults that they had like that their voices changed once they realized that they were kind of like speaking in a higher register and whatnot. And I thought that would be a really interesting thing to play with Sinov in that, like, when is she doing that and when is she being more of her authentic self. So I think you'll notice, like, if shit gets real for her, she tends to drop into kind of like more of like what my voice sounds like, more of a lower register. But if she's trying to get something she wants, if she's trying to like manipulate somebody in some way, or if she just wants to either unknowingly, like subconsciously or consciously be viewed as kind of like a non-threat, her voice will be in that higher register. Yeah, and there's other reasons, like to be soothing and stuff like that, but it was a very deliberate choice. It's cool that somebody caught that, because I honestly believe that people would just think it was an inconsistency with me.
I have that thought all the time. I'm like, do people know what I'm doing, or do they just think I'm like all over the place? I think that's a great question, and I think it makes a lot of sense, though I am, as we all are, concerned about the amount of cult documentaries you have watched.
If anyone has any good ones, I'd love some more.
Do you have a running list, like a number? What's your number?
No, but all of them. I don't think there might be like 2 or 3 that I haven't seen, I think. I still think the book Under the Banner of Heaven is the best cult book.
Good one.
I think the best cult documentary for entertainment value is The Mother God, Cult of the Mother God. Because it doesn't end with weird sex things about children, and it is just fascinating.
The bar is in hell.
Yeah.
That was lovely. Our next question, if you're ready, is for Kyle.
You ask the question and I'll get this ready.
I know. So, JB seems to be rooted in real-world methodology and practices. Was this an active choice for you, Kyle, or did it develop as the story went along?
Thank you for asking that.
Was it me?
Person who asked that. Actually, in a way, yes. It wasn't something that I like sat down and really like wrote out or like wanted to hit home too hard, but I had there's a really fantastic book on Taoism called The Tao of Pooh.
Great book.
It is explaining Taoist philosophy through Winnie the Pooh. It's fantastic. There's an audiobook on Audible that's really, really good. And I was listening to that, and so a lot of like what I picked up on from that has been incorporated into JB, like just the way of looking at things and trying to like move more towards that like sense of peace in that way. Yeah.
I like
So,
that
yeah.
a lot. That's a really good question. John, I have a question for you. I did not check how to spell these names, nor how to say them.
Yep, that's part of the course with anything I've helped make.
It was submitted by Stark, so we do know who submitted it. And you can answer as much as you can or feel is appropriate to at this time. You can keep some things a secret. The question is, can we get a bit more detail about the Varan family? Is Alana related to Gary or Alara? And who is the head of the family? The current head of the family?
Now, I do assume that the question about Alana is relating to Garavel Senior, rather than Gary himself. But yes, Garavel is not the blood relative of Alana. Alana is Alara's mother. Alara the mother of Aelis, Maravix, and Garavilla. I do think it's important to note, because I've seen this a little bit in terms of a tiny bit more detail about the Rohan family, and that I think it's important to note. There are no... How to put this? There has never been a time where two wielders of the Zillyrian are alive concurrently. So I heard a bunch of people saying, oh, like, Aelis and Alana must have gotten along. Aelis idolizes Alana because of what she meant to the family as a wielder of the Zillyrian, and particularly how she communed with the Zillyrian in that assault on Erasmus Vex, taking it and communing with it in battle in the heat of a conflict. In a bloody battlefield, she communed with the Zillyrian. So she is unique in the way that she exists with it, but she is Alara's mother. And Aelis, Maravix, Garavilla never met Alana, but some centuries have passed since Alana had the Zillyrian and Aelis was. So she views her as like a historically, as a heroine, almost of mythological status.
Like in a romance book, maybe?
Kind of,
Like
but
like
also, if you think Aelis has if Aelis has mother issues, Alara has worse mother issues. So there's a lot of fun stuff there.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Also, I do want to say everyone gives Alara a real bad rep, and I think that maybe there's been some I don't know. Take a double look at everything that's been said about Alara, and maybe you'll see something different.
Us judging the Varan family too harshly? We would never.
Aelis has never done anything wrong.
That's
Aelis is-
last time.
John, that's been the time for your audition. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
You
so
did
much. I
great.
appreciate it. This was a great opportunity.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Really great job.
I hope this
Thank
bit
you.
dies.
Thank you. It's fine. It's literally my profession. No,
All
you
right,
can't see myself.
Oh, I'm
Ooh,
excited for
okay.
the next question. Holy
Our
shit.
next question is from Non, I guess. It's for two bards. It is for Woody and myself.
Oh.
So we'll answer this together. We would love to hear about the Jessix and Winona lore. Can you tell us what happened? Woody, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, I don't know how I want to start this fully.
You want to do the voice that you do for Jessix?
You
I can't remember.
should.
It's been years.
Well,
Yeah?
your keystone is Mark Me.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Bonnie Prince Charlie from Outlander.
Yeah. Well, no, it's partly him, but also partly. So where the character, like the idea of it, was the character, the guy who plays the Bonnie Prince Charlie in Outlander. I forget the actor's name, but he's a great actor. And also I was watching Turn a lot when we were playing that home game, and there's this one British officer who, like, is you know what I'm talking about. Hannah. You know exactly
one of
what I'm
my
talking about.
celebrity crushes, Bern Gorman? Yes.
No, not
Oh,
Bernie
no,
Gorman.
no. Sorry. I got way too excited.
Bern Gorman rips ass.
I know the other officer you're talking about.
I forget the actor's name, but he would always be like, "Mock me,
Simcoe.
brother." Yeah, Simcoe.
He did.
Mock me. I would like to say one thing to you. And so just like a creepy, and he was a vampire. Yeah, he was a vampire. Basically, what we're gonna do is this. Winona's family was a prominent elven family within a kingdom, and the other prominent, it was the Winchesters and the Lancasters. The Lancasters hated the Winchesters, and so they usurped them, and that's what. And Winona left home, ran out of home.
She escaped like Anastasia style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once they were usurped, Lancasters installed basically this mercenary group called the Rotted Fang? No.
Oh.
Something, I forget their name. Something about fangs because they were vampires. I don't know. And the leader of that band, and who was the kind of the lesser bad guy of this home campaign for a good little while, was Jessix, who was Jessix Vex, who was a real nasty, real creepy, but fabulous vampire boy.
And what did he do to Winona to make Rachel hate Winona so much? And other, like, I guess also because he was the brother to a party member as well. So it was like
He was the brother to a party
personal.
member.
His brother to a party member.
Who was he keeping?
Oh,
Hostage.
he had Winona's sister hostage, and wanted to turn her into a vampire.
What are you gonna do?
Vampire.
It was like reveal after reveal. It was like, you can unplug it. Thank you. Sorry, my computer's gonna die. Thank you, Kyle. It was, she didn't know her sister was alive. And then it was like, yes, her sister was alive. It was a clone body. And Jessix was keeping her alive and was gonna turn her. And we're trying to save the town. He's taking over the town. There were so many fights. Woody was playing my sister and my remaining childhood friends. We had a party member related to Jessix. It was just like anytime we would just hear Woody go, "Mark me," I would lose my mind.
Yeah, he was.
We had some epic fights. We all had some epic conversations with him. And so then that is why we all reacted the way we did when we met Will's Jessix in Dark Age.
He also there was a few times where it was like a jump scare almost, where we were doing something and like suddenly he was there. So the whole and it was I think it started because of our friend Delia, but like she just kept going like, Jessix? And that
Text
for
us
whatever
in the middle
reason
of the day.
that turned into Scooby-Doo. Just be like, yeah. So that will explain a lot, I hope.
And it's hard because I, as Rachel, have all these feelings about Jessix, and that I like Jessix that Valor does not in Dark Age. But yes, he deeply wronged me and my family in Woody's home game.
And hey, Will's Jessix could be a wonderful person.
Oh yeah?
Will describe
sure?
him as this man
Worse.
craves violence.
Worst person.
Are you
Could be
watching?
great hang. I
Actively
watched
worst person.
most of that, some of that episode. I have every pass to be a casual
every
fan right
pass.
now.
You're
Playing
allowed,
the
you're
cancer
allowed.
card. Hurt.
I was in tech, and then right as I started tech, I got cancer. So fuck you guys. I haven't watched the stream.
Excuses. We love
All
you
I'm
so
hearing are
much.
excuses, dude.
Yeah.
You know what? I still feel bad about it. So fuck you guys.
No.
Okay, Hannah edited all the good interactions on TikTok. You can see he's a bad guy.
There's still more.
He bad.
Maybe
But
if I ever
how
come in
slimy
guest,
he
I'll play
is.
him.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Oh my God, Woody.
I
Oh
haven't talked
my
about
God.
that, Mosey. That'd be lit.
That'd
What
be
did you
I'd
say?
insane.
create so much chaos.
Guest as Jessix.
Mm.
I would quit.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. It'd be so much fun. But I would hate every second of it.
That
It would be on site with any Varan. It would be on site, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
It would legally be on site.
That gives me fear for knowing that
I
there are
don't
other Vex family members out there.
Yeah, Evelyn Vex
it's
might be my
not good.
one true love. We don't know.
Who do we think is
okay.
going to become a vampire by the end of Dark Age?
Fucking Theus, come on now.
Yeah, keep your beak shut and you won't get
Angry
fangs in it.
vampire.
Absolutely.
Huh?
No, I won't be surprised if I'm
So
half,
Nova do it
half
just to see
squid
how
at
it
some
is.
point.
Should
Damn
be
it, Snow.
curious.
Qatari, fine. I'll do it.
Whatever.
I'm already
If
better.
it's practical enough, they'll do it.
We rarely travel in daytime anyway. It
I
matters.
already shed enough blood. I might as well drink it.
Hey,
I
let's
think
keep
we
going on
should
about
have
this stuff.
answered that question. Drew, are you ready?
Mine?
Are you ready?
Yeah,
We have a
sure.
two-part. Actually, will you say your character's name and will you spell it for us?
My current character?
Yeah.
Do you have more?
Oh, no, you're right. My character's name is Kenos. but his name he goes by is Keno. The full spelling of the name is Kenos, but the name he goes by is spelled Keno.
No S.
Earlier,
No S.
earlier we
Has
decided.
he spent his whole life explaining that?
It's just because we did have questions about the name, and I know when the art was revealed, everyone was like, why is there an S? So I just wanted to give you the opportunity.
I will explain the S, but it is a Greek word, so if you wanted to know.
Explain to me Greek. What is Greek?
Wait, this is a question I have for you later. I'm gonna switch to it now, and swap these questions. Hannah, is that okay?
Calling an audible?
Yeah, go for it. Which one are we doing?
19?
Question 19.
Okay.
I'm moving down because it's just relevant. So, someone did actually submit the question, does the S in Kenos stand for silence? And I'm adding on to it. Can you explain his name? Because based on like all of the past characters I have seen you do, you make amazing name choices. So, if it's not a spoiler, I would love to hear like how you did this.
That's fine. I actually really... This was the first time I had a really hard time picking the name for my character. Usually I can do it like in one go, but it took me days to figure out this character's name. But my strategy usually, which I guess is usually most people's strategy, is looking through other languages to find different attributes of my character that then that name encapsulates. My character dealt with shadows, and his tarot card was death, and Kenos means empty or void, which I thought meant, like, for me that translated to like blank slate, starting at 0, or and the death tarot card was something that meant change and rebirth and growing anew. So I thought that connected really well with the tarot card, because he is this starting point, this blank slate, this void that then will grow into something or can become anything he wants to be. So that was kind of the thought process I had with creating his name.
I love that.
That's beautiful. As always.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's why I was like, we have to know. And I'm glad that you shared it. It's not secret.
Thank you.
Our next
Like
question
Hannah's
is probably
face.
secret. Dan.
Mm-hmm.
The question as written is from Prometheus. Dan, simple yes or no, unless you feel like elaborating. Is there more with the Hourglass Court and the Sots that you haven't shared with the party or us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Is there any that you would like to share today, or would it be too
No.
spoilery?
No, absolutely not. No, you gotta watch the show.
How long do you think until we learn more?
That's probably up to Will, truthfully. Yeah, we've talked a lot about what has happened in those things, and I know a lot about Sots that has not been talked about, but like Dan knows a lot about Sots that hasn't been talked about, mostly because Thegus doesn't know about them.
Sots sounds like a disease.
Yeah,
It
it is. That's the
does.
point.
It's like, oh, I got Sots.
I got the Sots. Yikes, I got
Point
Sots.
scared me.
But there is tons of stuff about the Hourglass Court that I, Dan, don't know about, that I know Will does. That there's tons of stuff that Will has not said, and I don't know if he ever will, because I don't know if it will ever, unless we go deep dive into that, like, but I don't know if we really will. There might be like stuff in books but there's tons of stuff with the Hourglass Court that I know he knows about. But yeah, there's stuff about the Seekers that I know that Thegus doesn't know, that I'd be intrigued if he learns. Yeah. And there's a few things about the Sots that Thegus knows that he hasn't really said.
What?
But it's
Thegus
not-
withholds information? What is this?
It's
What
not
is this
super
bombshell?
pertinent. It's not like stuff that he feels needs to be shared.
It's
Just
just
if you're
in,
making-
live from Bards After Dark.
A secret penguin.
Come on, y'all. What do you?
A
There's
penguin.
stuff
It's so
about
funny.
there's stuff about your cult that you haven't that Valor and Sonova hasn't shared.
But it's
They would.
not. It just hasn't come up. It's not
They
that
would.
if somebody asked us, we wouldn't
Yeah.
be like, no.
Would they?
Yeah.
Bet money they would.
Catch
I
next
feel
episode.
I feel like someone has asked the two of them and they have not, or the conversation has changed.
Whenever someone's asked a question, it's been about like a specific thing of like, why do you do that? Why do you say that? And I believe, to the best of my recollection, we have explained, or if we've diverted, it was more because of like actual time on the stream. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But we have a mythos, we have a society built, we have a lot of things, and I can't wait to share it.
We have cult
Catch next
coffee
episode.
sessions.
He gets out his
Yeah.
pen and paper and is like, "Tell me everything."
This is how you start a cult.
I'd like to know about the.
I like
cult of
that. I
the
like that.
redacted.
Also, I also like that now Abria has made me. Spoilers for people who haven't watched the Abria episode. It's not really. But like this is what I'm doing now, as opposed to
It's
this,
a touch
because
screen.
penguins
Absolutely.
simply don't have fingers.
You're a
I
DJ.
think it's crazy that you're attributing it to Abria, even though she is amazing. Whenever you did that previously, if you go back and watch the tape, every time I go,
Well,
because you would do this, and I'm like, well, they definitely do.
don't have fingers. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Imagine
All
just
right.
like,
That's what I imagine. Is just like little fingies go.
Very funny.
Little fingies. But a good question. I appreciate that question. I wish I could say more, but I there's tons of stuff I don't want to say just because I'd rather it be found out in game.
There's
So.
so of the 400 questions, there really were so many that we just could not do
Yeah.
today. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you answering in the capacity you can.
Yeah.
This is another all question, and I think we'll go reverse. So we'll do
Okay.
Kyle, me, Drew, John, Woody, Hannah, Dan. Now you're all ready. This is a combo question from, because they just went well together, from Russell and Bexy. So we have, do you all come up with your backstories individually? They're also intricate and intertwined. I'd love to hear more about the process from Russell, which I think pairs really well with Bexy's question of what questions do you ask of your characters when building them, backstory, personality, etc. We will start with you.
For a lot of it is figuring out like especially since we had been in Regulus before, but like so much time had passed since the last time we were in the world, so like it was kind of hard to know what was going on. So a lot of it was figuring out like what I wanted JB's story to be, and then explaining that to Will and working with him, and he is amazing at just being like perfect. That would put him here. That like, well, this threads into that. It's called this, yada yada. So yeah, it was a lot of just like working with Will on that, but mostly I just wanted to think of a good like just origin story that could in a sense fit anywhere, and then have it, because I also wanted him to kind of be like outside of all the politics. So yeah, and then the second question was, what do you ask?
What questions do you ask when
What
building them?
questions do I ask? I find that I have gotten the most depth from JB when like in actual role playing. I've like improvised my whole life, and like being able to kind of like work through that is like a great process for that. But like before making it, I think that it's more just kind of like you can go through and go on the character creator and be like, what is their alignment? What's their yada yada? Or you can kind of just like think of what that like implies. Like, how does JB see the world? He sees it as like neutral good, and what does that mean? So I think that it's a lot about just kind of like getting a good general perspective for the character, and then kind of like being in the space, playing the game, is where I find the most like intricacies about the character. Like, are even going back to with Ember, and I feel like this is not a spoiler because everybody and their mother knows about the romance between Lilith and Ember. That's why most of you are here, or it might be why some of you are here. That wasn't planned, and that wasn't something that I, outside of playing the character, really thought of. It was more like during the game, during like actually like acting it out in the conversations, like really kind of like discovering that, oh yeah, that's how the character feels. So yeah, sometimes you don't know what questions to ask. You kind of just have to listen for when they answer a question you didn't know you had.
It's blunt.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's blunt.
Freaking quizzy.
So funny. For me, I think if you go back and watch some of our really fun Bards and Crafts, Hannah and I talk about this a lot because we built our characters largely together in terms of backstory. And that was really fun for me to be like, we came to build a character where I come from the same place as someone, but we left in different ways, and what has happened to each of us since then was able to surprise each other. But so that was the only person I made sure I had like a relation to. My backstory was intertwined with anything else that is interconnected is probably Will and other people scheming above me that I don't know about yet. But like planning that backstory of like, you know, at least I have one reason to be in this group of random strangers because I have this tie. I knew I wanted to play a sibling of Hannah, but with the questions and like the building and the personality, I think of all my characters, this is the first time that when I started with the idea and worked on it, I was really focused on and asking myself, like, what are her flaws? Like with Lenore, I was very much focused on like, what is she bad at? What does she struggle with before I found her strengths? And I honestly like didn't think a lot about what her strengths were until I was at the table, because I was so focused on like the negative things that shaped her, and asking like, what is she bad at and why is she bad at it? Narratively, how does it make sense? Like Hannah always says, why does your character know 6 languages? When did they learn each one? How? And so focusing on that was really fun, whereas with my other characters, I've largely focused on what they're good at and how they got their passion for things. And it's like, Lenore was not a very passionate person about what she was doing. So that was really fun for me, and like bouncing ideas off of building mechanically. Kyle always helps me with like finding things when I explain an idea and like helping me find mechanically how to make it work. But coming up with a backstory with Hannah was very fun. And I hope to do that more in the future, making characters that are connected with like other bards and like do that together, because it's a fun part to help and challenge each other. Hi, puppies.
What
Wow.
is happening?
What is happening, Woody?
Woody ran away from her brother onto me.
Right, but then
You
her
get-
brother's
Oh,
eating
your
her
brother
ass.
was in on the stream, bro.
Oh, Woody.
Censor.
Oh, one of them farted. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
one of them, sure. Got it.
So much just happened.
One of them.
Oh, dude, you just showed the internet your butthole.
And the stream. And the stream.
Are we gonna get
Um,
we're gonna get canceled?
wow. Drew,
Can't show
it's
dance
dog
nipples, can't show booty's butthole.
yeah.
Booty's booty.
Drew, if you're able to after that display
I'm
answer this
sorry.
question.
Actually, I'm not sorry. It's Booty's fault. She did it.
Never apologize for Booty. Booty is a princess.
Yep. That's a word for it.
The character creating characters. The luxury of working together with Woody, John, and Will was kind of fun. When coming up with my character, because we got to bounce off ideas with Will, but we also each got to talk to each other about our characters as we built them, and it kind of helped create intertwining connections and stories that way. I don't know, when building my character, I kind of just like I definitely come up with my own backstory. I think of who the character is, where they come from. I try to build a world around them and like their family. Save for Ryujin, who didn't have one. That was really easy backstory building. But yeah, I even for Keno specifically, I came up with pretty much a family tree that connected him. Well, I don't want to spoil too much actually. So, a family tree that connected him to different people and things farther past in other campaigns. But yeah.
What was his last name again?
Kuro.
Yeah.
Kenokuro.
Kenokuro?
Kinokuro.
Mm.
That sounds like a martial arts style. I'm trained in the Kinokuro.
It means black.
Black
What are you-
Void.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice, Drew.
So
His name is-
Keno
his
means
name is
empty.
Black
So
Void.
it's empty, black empty.
NT Black?
Like
The-
That's a good band name.
the God sleep kind of. The void.
Empty Black.
Correct.
That is a good band name.
What does that mean, Drew? What does that mean?
Don't worry about it.
What's what mean?
Like the God sleep. What you said correct. I'm
I
a
don't
little-
know. We find things out as a story unfolds.
Okay,
You know?
that's sussy as shit, dude.
We find things out as the story unfolds is like life. Like,
Yeah.
why are you
Hey,
going into
Sam?
that room? We find things out as the story unfolds.
Beautiful.
You should have a reason for going into rooms.
No. There's a little shirt that I own that says, I knew I came into this room for a reason.
A little shirt? So it's like a crop
A
top?
literal shirt.
Oh.
I have a little shirt. It goes to here.
No, it's a little shirt that he can put on his finger to be like.
Yeah.
"That
Drew,
was stupid."
same question to you, unless you have anything else, Drew.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Wait,
Mhm.
I have a question though.
Excellent.
The third name. I never asked this when we did evolution. Does the third name have a meaning for you too? Because usually all of your character names you have deliberately chose.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, the Kuro name.
No, I'm asking about the
Or
other name.
The middle name.
Yeah.
The middle name. The middle
Yeah.
name does have a meaning. Yes.
Okay. You don't have to tell us now. We can do it on another Bards After Dark. But I realized I'd never asked about that. It does.
I
Okay.
think we know.
It is middle name also another family name. Anyways, yeah, we'll get into that later.
Cool,
Okay.
cool, 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 cool,
Okay. Cool.
Maybe
I
in
look
case-
forward to that time.
I'm writing it down for later.
Cool, right.
I want you to do
John?
a TED talk on like naming characters.
I
Joel-
love that. I didn't have the order up.
I would love to
Yeah,
do
I think for baseline, the first sort of questions that I saw at very immediate character building is like, okay, what is the sort of role in the story I want to play? What is I think of it more so in terms of archetypes, like, okay, what sort of thing am I fitting into in a D&D setting? Like with Thinker, it was very specific because I was like, what do you need mechanically? Like, what do we have to do in that? And then figuring out from there how I can make it fun and interesting in a role-playing setting. Because I really do like both sides of that in Dungeons and Dragons. So that's one side. For Aelis in particular, I wanted her to act as a particular narrative archetype, I suppose. And then figuring out, okay, where in the world could this being, this person, make sense? And then working very closely with Will to try and figure out what would make sense in terms of where we are in Regulus's history. Where would that be the most narratively adorable? Sorry. Where would that be the most narratively compelling to come from? So that was a huge part of it. And like you said, Drew, figuring out, oh, wait a second, there are some ties here You talk to Drew, you talk to Woody, figure out what ties you guys have, threading that through. So that was a big one for me. And then in terms of questions that I ask when building them, sort of like I said, not only the archetypes, but where I could see them going. Like, okay, depending on if the story moves this way, moves that way, what role might they end up filling? Are they going to go into a more negative spiral, a positive spiral? Will they end up being a character that Will plays? Will they cease to be a PC? When will that shift happen? How will that happen? And if that could happen, what would be necessary for that to occur? And so those steps I've been very interested in since the beginning, and more or less after the end of every session, I'm like, oh God, where on that scale is A-list now? And that's always been something, because I'll be honest, very early on, one of the first things I said to Will was, I want a character that I know is on a coin flip of whether or not they'll stay good or evil. I want someone who is on that line. And so I think the campaign has been very informative in where she is on that, because I wanted someone other than our sweet little angel Rec, mad scientist, true, lunatic, also true, but trying his best. I wanted someone a little bit different. So from a diegetic, that mainly doesn't matter in the world how they fit, but also how I want to play something a little bit different. That's me.
I like it.
Beautiful.
Wooddrop, you are up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just I second what everybody else has said. Just like working with Will, because you want to make sure like your character fits in the world and all that, and especially making Sal, just make something that's exciting. That sounds fun. Like it's gonna be fun to play. Like something that I'm gonna enjoy. And God, so many home games ago, before I was a DM, I played a rogue and I loved it. So I'm like, let me play a rogue again. So there's that. And like when I look at stuff and I'm like, what I always like to look at stories that I love, books that I love, movies, and just like be like, and just kind of homunculi my own little Frankenstein with that, and have fun with it. And I just second what everybody else has said. Just like where like again, Drew, like I agree with you, like being in that basement at work, and just being like, ooh, and like coming up with like ideas, or like where you can be a foil for a character, and where like when Will's little hinting where it's like, ooh, then that would bump into this character a little bit and be fun. And talking with Hannah too about like talking to each other too about when we're making these characters for Dark Age. That was exciting. So yeah, I don't know. And I think for me, it's also something that sounds fun. So if it's like a class that I want to play, and just start to figure out how to justify it. And as many things approach it, like in acting and character building work, and what you said, John, I really agree with, where it's like, what are they working towards? What's like their like beautiful goal when their life is perfect, and what does that look like? Is that something that this character wants to work for? And like, what is the dichotomy of that? What's pulling them in the opposite direction? To like play with that juxtaposition of opposites is a fun thing as in the character creation, just to even envision it. That's my answer.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's great. I love it. I'm looking. It's Hannah.
Oh, it's
and
me.
then Dan.
Cool.
Oh.
I approach making characters the same way I would approach like acting in a play or a film or like audiobook kind of stuff. And there's a lot of like different tools that I have been given and that I use for that. But the thing that has stuck with me throughout the years that kind of like changed how I viewed characters was when a professor of mine in grad school asked, what do you want? And what are you wanting? Like, what are you in want of? And if you look at the definition of want, it can mean different things. And so, like, you as a person want things. Like, I might want ice cream later tonight, but then I am in want of. I am left wanting of certain things in my life that I need in order to feel like a fully realized person, whether I know that or not. And having those two things as like kind of the baseline for a character has really helped me create characters who are more robust, who won't arc out really early, because they may think, oh, this is the thing that I need, but really the thing that they need is something internal or something that has to do with a completely opposite thing of what they actually need. And so that has been a really interesting thing to explore since I was given that gift. But then other than that, I think a character, whether you're creating it, whether you've been given the script for it, is always more fun to explore and create when you talk to other people. If you create it by yourself, that's great and wonderful, but more brains are always better than one. And so being able to talk to you all, even like little conversations, creating Sinov and creating the world that is Dark Age has been so rewarding, because I can like talk to John and like in early days, and we talked about Alis and how Alis was probably going to be an edgelord, and like it was nice to kind of equalize on that. And then talking to Woody about his character, and Woody helped me come up with the Fading book. Like that was Woody's idea through and through. It kind of like takes a village to build a character who is robust, I think, because you can only have so many ideas. And having somebody else there to either affirm an idea you have or to take your idea and be like, oh, what if you did this? Or, oh, I have this idea added on, is just one of my favorite things, and a thing I have gotten better at over the years. So that has been a big part of my process, I would say, in the last 5 years in terms of character study. Yeah, and then I journal as Sinov, which has helped a lot. But backstory wise, I think the what do you want and what are you in want of has really, really been my foundation for characters. And we know that Sinov is in want of a lot of things. Yeah,
no,
but then
I would never.
I saw somebody say in chat that, like, maybe I said it once, I don't remember saying it, that I decided to have a character who grew during the stream, or had a backstory that kind of happened during the stream instead of before the stream, because Lilith, a lot of what happened to her and a lot of her motivations were before the stream even started. I as a player, often when I play D&D, play a character who keeps the cards very close to her chest. And I wanted to challenge myself to play a character who kind of just like shared everything, that like told everyone, oh yeah, I follow a god, I da-da-da-da-da. And I was worried that would then arc her out earlier, but what it has done is, just like Kyle had said earlier, I have discovered things in the moment about Sinov that I wouldn't have otherwise if I had just like sat on all those secrets and sat on all that information. And it's been really cool. I think I answered the question. I know I went on an ADHD tangent, but yeah.
It was very helpful. And I think you've talked a little bit about why you started Sinov where she starts when we see her in Dark Age, a bit on Bards and Crafts, like before. So people check that out.
Yeah, go watch Bards and Crafts. Come watch our Bards and Crafts, because we get a EP at the end, and we drop lore tidbits.
A little bit. We mostly craft. Dan, it is the same question to you.
I went about creating this character in a slightly different way than I normally do. Even just down to like the name. Every character I've ever played is always a name, and then the last name is 2 words smashed together. It's every character I've ever played except for this one. Which is a small thing, but it's like, for me, it feels wildly different. No, I was quite secretive with curating my character, and I had a lot of conversations with Will. I had like we had like a full meal together where we sat down and talked about the character, and yeah. So a lot of understanding of things of lore that I didn't know before with him. I essentially, this is a large spoiler, for the beginning of this campaign. But by the fact that we've been calling my character the name, then I'm sorry, that's kind of also spoiled it. But I essentially created 2 backstories. And that was a whole process as well. Yeah. And then yeah, I did some things, and there were some things with Drew's character that actually where Thegus was starting that I learned, and we talked about. That was very fun, so I got to collaborate in that way, but it was a lot of collaboration with Will. That was the biggest thing. What's the second question? What questions do I ask? Questions do I ask? I'm kind of the same as everyone else. I tend to kind of split in how I go about it in mechanically, but then also I kind of like merge the 2 of them together. I think I kind of maybe want to play this class, but then I also think this is the idea I have. I always want to play an animal that isn't a human, always. That's what I want to do. I don't really want to play, yeah, I'd rather play creatures. I think it's fun. That's why I'm playing a penguin. But I would say, yeah, I would say I just ask about their family and what's important to them and what's something that has what is motivating them at the very beginning. And then I this is the first time I've ever done this, but there was tons of things that I told in my backstory that I gave to Will. I wrote, "Will, figure this out." So I have no idea. Not in a way of like I don't want to do it.
Mr. DM, figure this out for me, and thank you.
All right. No, in a way of like
Or
I
song.
think this.
No, Dan. No, keep going, Dan. I'm here.
This mic stand is terrible. Yeah, no, I just was like, Will, I don't want to know this, and I think it'd be fun to figure this out as a human, as well as the character.
You wanted it to be a surprise.
100%. So there's tons of stuff that he knows that I don't know, which is worrisome.
That should be worrisome.
Yeah, it's like very worrisome. And I keep getting into shit that I'm not. Yeah, I just keep doing things that I didn't think I would.
This
Anyway.
is lovely. It's the amount of collaboration I expected from everyone. Consequences. That was incredible. I appreciated that. I think I knew a lot of it, but it was still fun to like talk about. And it's for everyone else to know.
The process. I feel like we could talk about process for 3 hours, 4 hours. I don't love talking shop when it comes to the acting world, but I do like the process and figuring out how people like what tools they use and like that kind of thing. That is fascinating for me.
It's like a nice
for different people.
It's a nice back door to talking shop, where it doesn't feel like it. Like like when like you make like zucchini bread with chocolate chips, but like it's zucchini bread, so it's healthy.
It's sneaky.
Hey yo.
It's the non-toxic shop talk.
Is it a back door? Woody?
I did not like the phrase back door though, I will say.
Is there a back door that
I'm
you use?
sorry, that's the phrase you would use for that.
That is the phrase.
It is, but coming from Woody's mouth, it's
I didn't.
I feel like
if I wanted to make that joke, I'd say it'd be the face down, ass up back door.
Well, that's just putting it on the nose.
Is there any other way for me to do it? No, that's something else, Dan.
I
have to be nice to you because you're going through something tough right now. I have to be nice to you.
I know.
You guys,
I'm gonna ask the next question.
Please, continue.
I'm gonna ask the next question, Woody.
Ask away.
It is for Hannah and I. It is from Prometheus. It is Hannah and Rachel. Are there any Sinov and Lenore / Valor backstory tidbits that haven't come up yet that you would love to share? We discussed because there's so many.
We have a whole Google folder with information that has not been shared.
I don't know how many times we met, and like we would do nails, we would have coffee, we would have tea, and we would just talk, and built the entire structure of like not only our family but the whole cult, since it's an offshoot of a culture Will already created.
Yeah, which was fun because we had like a source material that we could then like twist and like or keep things or yeah, it was fun.
What happens when you take this culture and people like are no longer in it, and like how would they destroy things over hundreds of years and all these generations, like what changes? But we've decided on what we can share. Drum roll please for Hannah.
Am I sharing it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
We thought this had been shared. I think the way that our characters talk, if you go back now and rewatch, it will kind of like make a little bit more sense. But the area they're from, the culture they're from, is not just Ascari. They have grown up with lots of different species of people, and their community is not just Ascari, and has, I think, for hundreds and hundreds of years, not just been Ascari.
Long time.
Is that a good answer?
I tried to get Hannah to do something else, but it was too spoilery. So you just have to wait and find out.
I have a question. How long has your cult been around?
Yeah. Oh.
Hannah, are we allowed to share that?
Can we quote the song that you sang in canon?
Long ago, long ago, long ago.
Hey,
you know,
that's
even if we
Seems
give
like
you an
seems like a
answer-
cop out. Seems like a cop out
It's
answer.
a great answer.
Long
we-
ago.
Rachel and
Seems
I,
like a cop out.
Rachel and I have
So-
like a number that how long it's lasted. But the thing is that the cult, and this is not a spoiler. It's a spoiler if you haven't watched, but it's not a huge spoiler. The cult doesn't measure time the same way that everybody else does. So
are you guys like innies from
So
Severance?
that's
You measure time in quarters, not years. So how many quarters there are, but how long's a quarter?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I-
my
I
God.
kind of. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
don't
just
talk
watching
about it.
Severance
Don't
now and
talk
I'm
about it.
realizing, yeah.
Don't talk about
Snove,
Severance.
if
I've been
Snove and Valor are innies,
Don't talk
would
about
be-
Severance.
Okay, we're done.
I'm not. It's not time.
I will say, Rachel and I've just started watching Severance, so if there's any similarities, it is by complete happenstance.
we're gonna watch it. We just haven't yet.
I don't want to
I
see
guys
think
incredible, you should watch
the time thing we had not articulated or told Will or anyone, and I went back and his face when Snove says something about time, and then I, as Lenore, said something like, "Oh, well, that's by their calendar. Like it's like 5 years for them." And I like watched it later, and I see Will just like, "What? Why do they have a different calendar?"
Will can read all of the docs that we've shared with him. He just doesn't.
Yeah. And so, yeah, there's so much. I can't wait for it all to come up. I can't wait for the rest of the song to be reviewed because it is a fun story. But they only got a little piece of it, and that was enough to break Snove out of that situation. So that's all everyone got. This isn't a question actually. I don't know if we should add it to the doc. Did Gary make a song because he was jealous of that we had a song?
I mean, he didn't know, but just like he felt like someone's doing something better than me right now. That can't happen. And then had to pull out.
Yeah.
Bronze
Kyle, same
fucking
question
suck.
to you.
Say again?
Same question. Does JB like, oh no, multiple songs have been sung. I need to sing a song.
That was very much Kyle motivated. But I made it make sense in my head of like JB learned the song that he sang while working at the bar in Valyria.
You know, I need a like booklet of like the songs that JB learned that are like dirty limericks, like there once was a man from Nantucket. I just need like a songbook of all of those from Regulus.
Okay, excellent.
I'll work on it.
That was my personal question to
It's
John and
working.
Kyle, if they wanted to hop on the song train now that they know that Hannah and I have a song. But the real question that was submitted that I think John and Kyle can answer, this is from a concerned martial artist. Unarmed strikes are generally only ever described as punches or strikes with hands. What do you all have against kicks or other forms of striking, elbow, knee, etc.? This is from a concerned citizen for your joints.
So, please do not worry. I am a second degree black belt in Taekwondo. I know them kicks.
Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the one.
You didn't know that, dude?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
One of the first things
That's
I learned
crazy.
about Kyle.
You did know that because we've talked about it before on
I've
stream.
killed people.
It just doesn't come up a
True.
lot.
That was not.
Kyle's not
A
like,
lot of
I'm a
death
second degree
I forget
black
things.
belt. My dad was the inventor of toaster strudel.
I mean, it was a while ago. I
I thought it was a joke when we started dating.
had to stop because theater.
Could you
was-
still kick my ass?
Yeah.
It's better.
Do you think you could kick everyone's ass?
No.
I
Who don't
think we
you think
should
you could
leave
kick?
like who you think you couldn't kick their ass. I think we should just leave that as a mystery.
Wait, no, but I
For
want to
next-
know.
Really
For the next one, the question is about
It's like-
your character's unarmed strikes.
Okay. We got sidetracked. So where we came from was yes, 100%. The reasoning for JB doing the punches is very specifically because the first copper thing he got were those gloves to be able to add electricity to his attacks.
Mhm.
So I think for me that it was focused on that because I wanted it to make, like, I guess it didn't really matter, but I wanted it to make sense in the moment of like the reason why it's dealing electricity is because he's using his fists. If you go back and the times where I do have him do some sort of kick or something, I change the damage to be like what it would be without the added. So it's very conscious. I do often wish I had also given him like copper soles to his boots
Father's
or something.
kick.
Or like, but because I do love a diverse fight choreo, but it was a little bit more logistics.
Fair.
But he can whip it out.
Pads.
I think there's been a couple moments of A-list kick, and I remember I think in Valyria when it was overrun, there was like a combo move where it ended up with A-list doing like a Sanji style hammer kick on someone's head. But for A-list, it's much less logistic and much more unfortunately roleplay. She needs it to be tactile. She needs to feel someone's bones breaking, and it's a little easier for her to do that with her hands. Because just like when she could feel magic existing in her fingers through her body, if she can't feel, it's why she, spoilers for like session 3, why she gouges someone's eyes out when she's really upset. She needs to feel that she is better than someone in that moment in a physical bout, because otherwise she's useless. That was where she came from, and now it's just habit.
I wish I had my notebook.
Girl, get you to therapy.
Needs to be crunchy. She can't go there anymore, can she? But spoil it.
How often does she dream about episode 21?
Oh, she can't dream, can she?
So never
That's
dream
so
about it
fair.
every
I'm
night.
sorry.
Yeah, well, this is what you gotta do.
R.I.P. your dreams. Let's do a more lighthearted question
On
for
that
Dan.
I'd like to go back to who can Kyle beat up.
That's crazy.
I think I'd like to propose
Who
who
do
I
you
think
think it
you
is?
don't think you can beat up. I think you don't think you could be Woody or Will, but everybody else I think you could beat up. That's my thought.
You think Kyle could beat me up?
Now, Drew,
Yeah, I'm
you're
surprised.
you're on the border. Kyle's fast.
I'm fast and strong.
That's see.
All
right,
Hey,
you're on-
Bards Fight Club right now.
It's great.
Anyone
What's
could
my
beat
question?
Woody up because you could distract him with an innoappropriate joke and throw him off.
That's
Le-
true.
No,
legally,
Woody
I'll
would be-
always be
You guys
Woody.
underestimate the amount I can turn off my caring brain and turn
Woody
into
could beat the shit out of me. Woody could be.
Guys, this is a little scary, so I'm gonna move us on to a funny question.
I don't wanna
Dan,
do
if
that.
you ever want to do a
I'd
fight
lose
club,
against.
There are several of
I lose
us who
against
have
all
either
of
done
you.
martial arts or kickboxing, or what was it, Muay Thai that you and Will used to go to, Drew? What was it that you'd go
Oh
to?
yeah. Oh
was also
shit. I'm sorry,
taekwondo.
Drew. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah.
Dan, what have you been doing while everyone else has been training?
Barbershop.
You should do it. It's so
Honestly-
fun. You feel like a D&D character.
I would really love to either do like
Barbershop.
kickboxing or like some sort of thing like that. I wish that if that was in the neighborhood, I would love to
I
do
know.
shit like that.
Kyle, we can go find a kickboxing gym. I would love
I don't want to fight people though because I'm afraid that I'll
You'll win.
hurt myself.
Oh.
No one's asking you to.
I'm afraid.
Well, we just said we're gonna start a fight club.
No, Woody said it wasn't real.
How do you know?
what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. What does that mean,
sorry.
Rachel?
You?
Can
Am I-
do
am I not
Team
real?
Six? Like, can I do this?
It's a
Can
tough
I-
day for Woody.
Oh, River's barking. I'm gonna go find my
What are
name.
you saying,
Um,
John?
What
Can
is
I
this
still
question,
Team Six
Rachel?
this? Like, how are we here right now?
I'm
John,
trying
you
to
have a
ask
fighting
question.
chance.
Still Team Sixes don't exist in this stream.
No.
So,
Yeah, it's Bards after dark.
This is what this is for.
Still Team Six can't come to
Literally.
the phone right now.
Yeah, take your message.
If it's any consolation, I don't think I have a fighting chance unless I can find a cool weapon. Because then I know fun stuff. Like,
Since when do we have weapons?
I don't know, like a cool. I'm not gonna get into this right now. Never mind. Never mind.
I'm struggling.
I think
This is definitely another episode.
This was so organized.
Well, I don't. Yeah.
I tried to steal Team Six us, but everyone said no.
No. I need
I
to
know.
know who can Kyle beat
It's
up.
in
I didn't
the
know Kyle could
description
beat
of the
people up.
event.
What's your question, Rachel?
Woody, I think you're muted.
The question for Dan from
Fuck it up.
Cat2745 is, what happened to the egg that you collected from the Chubbs family farm?
That egg is vital to my character's progression, and there's multiple big things that are going to happen with that egg coming up.
I'm calling bullshit.
I don't believe
Where's
you.
No,
the egg?
I'm 1000% telling the truth.
Where's the egg?
I have the egg. Thegus has the egg.
You just sitting on it
It is.
like a
It
penguin.
is.
I love
It
sushi.
is. It is.
Hey, okay, I said
just
50
an egg.
bucks that it's just an egg.
No, like confirm.
Who are you betting? Who are you betting, Woody?
Who? I mean, I'll bet it against you. I guess
Agree?
you would change it.
Yeah, I'm in charge, so I guess I can decide. No, the egg is I don't know where the egg is.
Is
Amazing.
Scrambled somewhere?
Ryujin would never.
No, didn't I leave it with him? I don't think I took it.
I don't remember.
I definitely don't think I took it because I think I was like, this egg is almost as big as I am because it was a not a dinosaur egg. It was a big egg.
Yeah, but it was also just like it was not a fertilized egg.
Chat just said
But
Vegas
what
forgot
happens-
about the egg quicker than he forgot about Iridia.
Do penguins have memory issues?
I
That's a good
respect it.
question.
I respect the game, Thegus.
Also,
Hey.
if the
Wait,
egg...
the chat is
Made
saying
from
that I'm sorry. The chat is saying I took it.
Yeah,
I didn't
really
take
think
it.
You did. I think they'd know better than we.
Yeah,
It
that's
says
true.
that
They
you
do.
did.
They do know better than I do.
I was reading on the wiki the other day, and it does say that you took an egg.
What are you gonna do?
Then I'll be honest with you.
Oh,
I don't. I think it's maybe in like at the Copper Legion. Like I think I might have like kept it there. Like
in
I
your
don't
locker.
in my locker. Yeah, Thegus does
It's
not
gonna
have the egg on him.
spoil. It's gonna spoil it.
Spoil. It's probably
Yeah,
in a,
it's been a year.
it's been a year. It's probably or it's hatched or it's hatched.
The Grumble
Is it?
Volcano
But it
just
was
said he
unfertilized.
sat on it and he never mentioned it again.
Oh, is it? It's still up there.
it's stuck.
It's still up inside me.
Why do I have to be John right now? I could be so many other people, and yet I'm John, and I don't get it.
Crying.
answer.
Watch it
Woo!
next episode. Think it's gonna go, guys. 1 second.
Iridium, help!
There it is.
So you're incubating the egg?
You forgot about our child.
Absolutely, constantly. I'm constantly incubating the egg.
Just some like Cronenberg like velociraptors like father, I've come.
Thank you for letting us know that these are all the possibilities that await us.
Yeah, I'm so glad Will will
I don't know
watch
what-
this.
I don't know what I was expecting to be the answer to
Yeah.
that question.
That's so funny, dude.
That egg's been all over the place.
Somebody threw out the egg. Somebody's like, it has been smelling in this fucking room for weeks.
So I do.
Voltaire.
My next question is for Woody and Drew. It is a joint question. It is a lot of people said that they miss y'all and they loved Sons of Uthevenon and wanted to know, are we going to get more of it?
Short answer, yes.
Okay.
You have anything to add to that one, Drew?
Long answer, I guess. Do
Yeah.
you want me to give a longer answer?
You
I
slap it.
can. I mean, the scheduling. We are all virtual, so you know we gotta figure it out. We gotta record. Woody's in school.
Yeah.
Will's DMing this campaign and the other, and in a show. So we're just trying to. And we're trying to play Marvel Rivals, so like, you know, no, I'm kidding. That's not as important, but you know, it's
How
pretty
dare
important.
you? How dare you?
Hey,
How dare
it's
you
a
say
sliver
that?
of joy. Marvel Rivals is a
It's
sliver of joy for me right now, and I need that.
In fact, yes, you're correct.
You could
It's
have
what
it.
boot up
most
right
of-
now. I'll boot up on stream. I'll do it.
Yeah. Also, we're trying to grow the Sons of Uthevenon a little bit, so we're accounting for a couple more schedules. So we're trying to make it work. And then it'll happen soon, and it'll be wonderful, and you guys will love it. So just hold on a little longer.
I think
That's all.
now that there's going to be some changing of schedules, I'm going to have more time on my hands for at least a couple months, and also for the next couple weeks, I'm going to be on my butt recuperating. So I think we'll find some opportunities here soon to get some filming going because we want to. Because I just selfishly want to play some D&D with y'all.
We miss you. We miss both of you. We miss all three of you.
We love watching like you
You
guys
guys
and
too.
your executive producer pets.
Get your asses back to New York.
Get your asses back to New York.
Yeah.
There's a fire.
My executive,
one
one of my executive producers is gonna get freaking canceled because they keep showing their asshole on the stream.
Yeah, we're not gonna be allowed to be on Twitch and YouTube anymore. It's gonna be Discord
It
Live.
was fine while it lasted.
Mm-hmm.
I have another question
Yeah.
that's for everyone.
Sorry, guys.
It's like a short answer question, I think. And then I don't know about y'all if we want to take like it's 8 o'clock. If we want to do like a 5-10 minute get snacks bathroom break after this.
I'll be done.
Sure.
Yeah.
Amazing. So this is from Alpha, and they ask, when do you most think about your D&D character? In your commute, in the shower, before bed, when bored at work, or whenever inspiration strikes you? Let's start. We'll go around. Dan, when do you think most about it?
I try not to because then I start planning shit, and then I feel like I start planning what I'm gonna say on the stream, and I don't want to do that. I learned that the hard way. So no, yeah, I think maybe if the answer to that is right after the stream when I'm going home, I think the most about what has happened and what the character is. But I try and have it be that I presently go back into the character when I get back to it. Yeah.
Excellent. Hannah, over to you.
All the time. Why would I think about reality and our society crumbling when I could think about my fantasy characters? At least then it's the horrors I've chosen.
Hannah lives in Regulus.
Like all the time. Like when I'm falling asleep, it's great because my brain will like my anxiety brain will spiral. And so I'm like, okay, I'll think about Regulus, or I'll think about Cordia, or I'll like, it just helps me calm down. In the shower, I'll listen to music and disassociate, and oh my god, it's been like 20 minutes. Holy shit, I should probably wash my hair. Yeah, all the time. I oscillate between that and freaking out about reality.
As is your right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Woody?
Recently, I'm just thinking recently, whenever I have a moment of disassociation in class, and I need to like turn my brain off and go somewhere else for a bit, that's where I go. Or when I'm sad watching the stream here in Houston,
Yeah.
and I feel sad about it. That's it.
Thank you for that honest answer,
Finish
Jonathan.
grad
Yeah, of
school.
course.
Get your ass back here.
Genuinely, very similar to Hannah. All the time is a huge one. It really does sort of feel like at random points I'll just sort of be lying down doing something else and go, oh my god, and then I'll just like have to text Will or somehow vent whatever I'm thinking about. Like the other day I was walking around, it started to like storm, and I was like, and then I was walking around and I was like, I have a crazy idea for a demi-planar expanse that probably will never happen, but maybe it could. So Will, look at it, idea. And, you know, for those of us who have ever communicated with Will, man's ability to respond to a message is the most wildly inconsistent thing you'll ever encounter. But I know I've gotten something good when immediately I see, like, that's some good shit right there. And I'm like, thank you, yes! So it really is often and in great spikes, and then that tends to completely derail the rest of my day. Also, if I've like watched something interesting, if I'm watching like anime or it's my annual watch of Lord of the Rings, I'll be like, I'm back in the zone. Like I have to grind right now. I have to do it right now. So it's all the time, basically. Just things trigger it more than others.
I respect it. I'm a little worried, but I respect it.
Why? What did I do that was wrong?
No, you're fine, sweet legume. Drew, to you.
I would honestly say the same. All the time. I like to. Especially when inspiration strikes, and I'm thinking about my character or the backstory. I like to write little excerpts for myself, like in dialogue and in us together, just honestly because I like to write, but also to kind of like breathe life into the characters a little bit, and that's why.
Dope.
Okay. Sorry, my mom was just talking to me. My bad. You good?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, I'll say hello, Mom.
A queen.
Says hi.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a little excerpt actually on the wiki, from one of the backstories of I think Neverick or Angelo. It was just a little like it was part of the backstory and a piece I wrote for myself to kind of get my headspace into that world. But it's a way also to get out my creative energy when I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking or I'm doing nothing or I'm just watching TV, do something. So yeah.
Excellent. Very similar. I like writing has helped me a lot. My whole commute to work, my whole commute from work, anytime I'm on the train, I'm in my notes app like a fiend. And I do writing for stuff like from Lenore, and I do writing for stuff from Valor, or just try to like remember like, oh, in that moment, this is how I felt, and I don't want to forget it because so much is happening. I've talked about it on Bards and Crafts a bit before. I started writing at the very end of the session, like exactly how Valor was feeling, or like her last thought before like the camera cuts, so that I can help dive back into it when we come back. We talk about it constantly. I remember we were like on a nice date, and it was like shortly after something had been revealed about Stella, And we're just sitting there over our nice meals with our little drinks, and we're like, but don't you think? And I was like, our server thinks we're insane. And it's just so fun. Like, everyone said to just like jump into that world, but then like balance not doing it in like a metagaming way. Like Dan said, like you don't want to plan things, but just being like, what did she think? What did she feel? What did she experience? Has been so fun. I sent Hannah like really insane voice notes. And she does the same for me, but they're less crazed and more poised, I think. Of just like, I just thought about this. Do you think this happened to them? And like, what if this happened? Like, I sent her an insane voice note, like out of breath of the song. It's just all the time. It's the best part of our world. I'm healthy.
Hobbies are healthy.
Yeah.
Hobbies are healthy.
Well,
To Kyle.
Two points come to mind of like consistently when falling asleep, like Hannah said. Like for me, going to bed is not always great because of just like the laying down and being in silence and darkness, and just having to be like, all right, now slumber. And so a lot of the time what I'll do is when I'll get in bed and just start thinking about like either like one of the fights we were in, and like cool combat stuff. I try not to get too much into like the intricacies, because I want my brain to kind of like be loosely focused on it. And then, you know, just scrolling through Pinterest and fantasizing about stuff that's gonna happen in the campaign whilst on the toilet.
Everyone's just been so honest, and I love that, but I also think we could pull it back
Wow.
at the same time.
Coming from you.
I love you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, if he wants to talk about what he thinks about on the toilet, that's 100% fine.
He's allowed.
We're authentic girlies. What does
That's a
everybody
safe
think
thing.
about when they're on the toilet? Let's go around.
Apparently,
Chat, share what you think about on the toilet.
It's better than just like scrolling through social media and slowly killing myself with meaningless dopamine.
No, it's
I
great
know
to
Woody
like think
sends me
about,
TikToks
honestly.
on the toilet.
Speaking
I
about
sent
meaningless
TikTok.
dopamine, it's Marvel Rivals all the time. I think about Marvel Rivals all the time. It's
I'm
always
thinking about
On
my
the toilet?
Uh,
Your toilet
literally,
time is Marvel
yeah.
Rivals.
because genuinely,
It's
usually on the
not
toilet,
D&D,
I'm
it's
playing
Marvel
Marvel
Rivals.
Snap. I'm always in the Marvel grind set. I'm always thinking about it. It always comes round.
Okay.
Wow.
Meaningless
Um,
dopamine.
So if
That's
we
me.
take a short 5-10, get drinks, get snacks, you're just going to be thinking about Marvel Rivals.
Emma Frost.
I got to hit Grandmaster again. What are we doing if we're not hitting Grandmaster, you know? That's how it goes.
I don't
clearly-
know.
I need to touch grass, basically, is what this whole conversation leads to.
So
I
we're
haven't played
gonna
in so long.
take a 10 so John can go outside and
I didn't
touch-
say that. I didn't
and
say
the
that.
rest of us will get
It's too
snacks
dark.
and drinks.
Yes, and come back. We do have some great questions for the second half. So
Oh, we have some real good ones.
It's gonna get spicy.
Ooh, oh my god, I'm so excited.
okay, we're
The
gonna
Thegus style romance.
I'm gonna go into the intermission video so people can be entertained, but we will cut it short. So don't wait for Will's dulcet tones about why D&D is great to come back, unless John has a really bad poop.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bards of New York, the live, chaotic, beautiful mess that we all know and love, where we usually, at one point, will play D&D together. We'll be starting to play D&D at some point soon, and then probably stop, then start again, and then stop, and then giggle, and I'll fart a bunch, and then we'll have a good time.
Why even do the stream?
You're hitting the nail too hard on the head, man.
Come for the D&D, but stay for the absolute chaos that is Bards of New York. I love you.
First things first.
I'm the realist.
What can I call you?
Lil.
That was subtle.
I heard Lil.
Sorry, that's my title. My name.
She said, I'm Lil.
It has a very almost like umami. And it's
Mommy.
y'all.
It was ubiquitous and it made me upset.
Give me a second, I need to get my story straight. My friends are in the bathroom getting higher than the Empire State. My mother, she's waiting for this.
And you come out.
I am a human woman, I swear. Hello, fellow youths.
Also, there's the whole aspect of that miasma.
You have an inhaler for that.
I used to, as a child, had some asthma, but I've grown out of it since. Miasma.
Yar.
Fuck you.
What's the preferred oil? It's a oil of my own making. It's very
Homemade lube.
Well, let me ask you, what is your This is you know what? He's Batman now, because fuck Irish. No, great people. Sorry, Jesus Christ.
You don't know about your body, do you?
I mean, I've exploded a few times.
I've makeshifted or found a leather glove.
Shut up.
But a powered gehe. Instead of Misty Step, it's a moonwalk. No attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, no, it's kind of Elvish philosophy cost exclusively by when you catch shielding yourself, it's not a shield. You just kind of lean over it like this much.
Lil, does that imply there's a big?
Hi.
So you're Lil and you're big.
That is correct.
I'm pussy but dollar signs.
I'm big fat cat.
Y'all should be on my crew.
What is sacred here? What have you made sacred that these are the addendums?
Nothing's more sacred than a good party.
Period.
There was one time where you went down and it was like I felt a ringing in my head or something like that. It was really weird. Someone give me a thesaurus!
Pentagonal. Pentagonal.
How many sides does that thing have? Say that again.
Pentagonal.
Gaggle on these nuts.
There are more songs than you can listen to in a single sitting.
Clearly, you don't know how long I can sit.
Actually, Kyle, I can't sit anywhere.
I have.
Hemorrhoids.
That actually made me feel way better than I expected.
That's what she said.
Someone's here.
Not them coming all the way up the stairs.
On stairs?
He's here.
Delivery drivers never bring it home.
We
They
live
live in a
on the
fourth
fourth floor.
Give that man a raise!
Literally.
What did you get that deemed this to happen?
Let's take a quick moment, a little
Yeah.
pit stop for what's in the package.
Shoelaces.
Oh
my
fucking
God.
We derailed the stream for shoelaces.
I've been looking for these.
Considerable courage to go on
these
Amazon
aren't
and be like,
gonna
I am
work.
buying one thing and one thing only. A dinky pack
Of shoelaces?
I don't
You'll
think
be sending
these
that
are-
to me post haste.
To me, you have always been the brightest star. And the most powerful star.
That's where we're gonna end! Thank you so much for watching Bards of New York!
I didn't think it was gonna happen.
If you'd like to tune in next week, we'll see what the fuck happens.
For forever.
So, the mechanic where you make choices as your character that then affects the world at large. To me, there's no better version of that than D&D, where not only do you get to escape to a world and make choices within it as a character entirely your own, that then your own choices are a catalyst for an evolution of the world that evolves with you, but you get to do that with other people. So it's not just a pre-thought out, I'm going to make these choices to make these things happen. It's a group of people, all that you can have banter with and laugh with, but at the end of the day, you are exploring a world for the first time together as a group, making these little chaotic decisions which bloom across the world, causing it to change with you and grow with you as your characters level up and grow. What brings me back to D&D over and over and over again is like assisting in the growth and the blossoming of a world that will be cultivated by accident through a ragtag group of adventurers' actions.
Really close.
Not you, just
Oh.
Anne.
I thought it was all of us. See, Woody did it too. Hello.
What do you look like you're holding us hostage?
I like how this was the I like how this was the opposite at the beginning of the stream, where back then we were talking about literally nothing, and now we're just not speaking.
We were talking about survivors.
silent.
You think I'm molded by the doctors? Oh fuck! I messed it up. Fuck me. You think I was born in the darkness? I was molded by it.
No,
I fucked it up again. I'm done.
Nebulizer is your ally. I was born in the grape, molded by it.
I was born in the steam, molded by it.
I wondered which would break first, your sinus or your lungs.
I hope everyone had a lovely break. And got
I
your
ate
snacks
3
and
pieces
drink.
of grandma-style pizza.
Excellent.
What does grandma
Good for
style
you.
mean?
What is grandma?
What is grandma
Like
style?
Sicilian style, grandma style. Really, guys?
I love me some
It's
Sicilian pizza. Never
have
have I
to-
heard it called grandmother
Yes.
style. Grandma
I have to
style.
Really?
push back
Never
about
called
grandma style.
Guys,
Grandma style?
it is not a
That's
weird thing.
Texas lingo you learned.
No,
Yeah.
this is fucking New York
Changing,
lingo.
Woody. You're changing.
No, grandma style. Fucking Google image grandma style pizza right now, and it's
I'm not gonna
silly.
do that.
Image.
It's a
I'm not
trap.
gonna do that,
I
Woody.
guarantee it's a trap. No one do it.
I'm not gonna do
No one
that.
do it.
I'll Google it right now. And I'll put it on stream. I don't care what images come up on my phone. I'll
Chaz,
get
I know,
it's
I
canceled.
know, like a granny shot is when you throw the ball like that.
Yeah.
Like
Granny shot sounds like a naughty thing.
Please don't just Google grandma style.
You cannot show your phone on the
But grandma
stream.
style.
It's not your turn. The first question is for Hannah.
Yes. Let me copy it. I'm sorry, Drew just sent me.
Oh, it's pizza.
Oh,
On that Stregonona grind, I respect it.
Stregonona.
I'm super excited for this question. Thank you, Woody, for that very safe Google search. I appreciate that.
It was literally just pizza.
I know. Our first question back is a really good one, as we promised. It's for Hannah. Why wasn't Sin more upset with Decima about the whole Decima Katari fling?
So,
Right in.
I'll start with Sinov. Sinov is a very sexually liberated person because of how she grew up. Their society, their culture, like really liberated their people and taught comprehensive sex education and about pleasure and about different kinds of family dynamics and romantic or sexual relationships. So a lot of that is like she's very free and open and liberated in that way. And I'll get back to the emotional state of Sinov when it came to the whole Decima Katari thing, but I'll come to myself, Hannah. I am not interested in a storyline where two femme people vie for the romantic attentions of another person. I just think, for me personally, and it is a game that I am playing and a story I'm telling, I do not find value in that. I find it most often rooted in patriarchy, and so I don't love leaning into those kinds of narratives. I prefer to find a more nuanced approach and a more dynamic approach to things. And with Sinov, in that moment, because she is sexually liberated, she didn't necessarily have a problem with what happened with Katari and Decima, but she was very confused because of what Katari said to her and had been telling her. And then for that to happen, and there seemed it like her fear and her reaction came from, there is an emotional connection between Katari and Sinov, whatever that may be. I think that Katari and Sinov are not on the same page onto what that emotional connection is. But Katari was Sinov was very fearful that, like, oh, is it me that is the issue when it comes to Katari opening up to me and Katari being vulnerable and being able to, like, be vulnerable in, like, the way that sex can be vulnerable. I think Sinov kind of, like, freaked out and was like, oh, I can't, like, it is a me problem, and I'm not enough would probably not be in Sinov's vocabulary, but I think that's probably, like, the inkling of the feeling that she had, which is why she got swerved by what happened with Decima. But she doesn't have a problem with Decima with that at all. Mm-hmm. I think she sees a lot of herself in Decima in a way, because Decima also manipulates people. And whether Sinov is willing to admit that or not, I think she sees a lot of that in her. But also Sinov is a person who tries to believe the best in everyone. And so I think her interest in Decima outweighs any kind of, like, jealousy or anything like that. And like I said, it's just there, for me personally as Hannah, there are more interesting storylines to explore than two femme people competing for romantic affection from another person. Yeah, but I appreciate the question. I think it's a good question.
That's a great question, and I can't wait for Valor to get her hands on this information. But our next question, I took 2 people asked questions for John that I put together, if that is okay, Jonathan.
Always.
One, hey John.
What's up?
How long did it take you to create Gary?
Great question.
And will Gary ever give Valor a rock?
I feel like that second question is a little bit more personal. I feel like you're not asking that in an unbiased manner.
I did not write it.
Yeah, it's alleged. But in terms of, like, how long it took to figure out Gary, it's interesting insofar as there was a lot of lore with him, not as a PC, with Maravix, Garavalier, and Alis, how that sort of family unit functions, and how dismissive Alis was of both of them in their youth, because they could be. So there was a lot of prerequisite stuff already in the surface for Gary, what he is, what sort of role he played in the family, what roles he didn't play in the family. So there was a lot of the more storytelling-based stuff already laid the groundwork in. It was very funny because we very early on decided, oh, the baseline roster as kids was like monk, bard, sorcerer, and then that all shifted once Alis took on the Zilirian. So he has always been a bard, or at least some sort of fighter bard multiclass. Then we pivoted to Valor, School of Valor bard specifically, but then moving him to more of a player character standpoint, figuring out some specifics there, and then further on talking with Abria and Will about how long he'd been in Calanthus, the relationships that had formed there, and genuinely, I wasn't super sure what Gary would be, how I'd feel about Gary until the session itself. And then once the relationship with Decima and Gary really became cemented in terms of preparation on how it started to play out, that's when I think at least Gary fully actualized in my mind and at the table. Because I got a moment where I saw, oh, this is what's been happening for 8 months. This is who he is beyond the person I, as someone who played Alis, thought of him as. So it was an interesting dynamic shifting viewpoints in the moment in a way I hadn't expected to. That's all I'll say for that for now, I suppose. So it was a weird combination of very long second-hand preparation and then very swift creation in relation to others. And I'm sure maybe he'll give Valor a rock if he finds a cool rock. If Valor wants it, I guess. But he's not giving him his cool rock. Not happening. That's for Gary.
So a lesser rock.
Absolutely. Because just as you said, Hannah, despite what Gary tries to be kind and likes talking to people, but he does at the end of the day have to play the game. And at the moment, I don't think giving Valor a rock gets him anything.
You'll never know. You didn't do it. You had to give a story.
I know, exactly. And I thought it was a good story. Bunch of stories. He's a
It
cool
was a
guy.
great story. It was
Leave
the
room.
story she wanted.
Sorry. Dan?
I'm just trying to grow her rat collection, and obviously the community members are as well, since they
They're
asked.
minerals to know. I got it. It's fine.
That was excellent. I also have 2 questions that I'm combining for Kyle, because I think, like, they're answers that I know you just have on lock. We have the first one from Prometheus for Kyle. Yes. Oh, wait, hold on. Kyle, what is the story behind JB's markings? Were they given him as part of his training at the monastery, or are they naturally occurring like the Ascari brands? And then the second question, which was anonymously submitted, will we ever see Kyle DM a campaign? I'd love to see our resident rules lawyer on the other side of the table for more than a one-shot.
They are naturally occurring. Is the quick and dirty answer. Yeah. It's just part of his Genasi genetics.
The swirls.
Yeah. So yeah, naturally occurring. And then for the other question, it's definitely a it's a definite possibility. In fact, it's probably an inevitability. It's at some point.
Like Sinov.
I am inevitable. Yeah. So, yeah, probably.
Have you talked about the JB markings on stream? Other than like describing them?
I don't know.
They do light up, maybe?
Yeah.
Or am I misremembering?
They glow.
Like a sketcher.
They glow when he's in focus or rage. But yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And then yeah, I would love to. I do like dungeon mastering. And I have some ideas.
Thank you very much.
That sounded like a threat.
That's all.
I know.
That's all I can say right now. My lawyer has instructed me to. I'm just kidding.
I'm a lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer.
No, it was a term of endearment.
Like a pet name. Oh,
yeah,
lawyer.
Are we allowed to mute Woody, or do we have to be nice to Woody?
We have to be nice.
You got to be nice to me. I'm getting my nut removed in a matter of hours. So.
I like that you're sitting there like, no, you have to be nice to me. I'm terribly sorry. No.
Kyle is gonna go make my dinner.
Yes.
Dan, our next question is for Dan.
Yeah.
Are there any cool features of the staff that we have not gotten to see on stream yet? Also from Prometheus.
Wow, Prometheus with wonderful questions about.
Good questions.
Yeah, there's some things that I haven't done with it that I realized I hadn't done with it that I did once with like shooting stuff out of it that Will was like, why aren't you doing this? So there's that. I'm sure there's other things that I don't know about it that will like have happen, and then I'll be like, that's amazing. There is definitely things about the harness, the harness and other things that I have from there that I know that have not been shared yet because they have to be like revealed essentially.
Okay.
By time. And
Do you have an... Oh, go ahead.
Go.
Do you have an item sheet like I do where it's just like, this will be revealed when you achieve something? Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Drives me crazy.
What is?
I don't know what it is.
Which of your item sheets say? What cryptic shit does your item sheet say about like what you need to learn in order for more to be revealed?
There's
power of friendship.
I have stuff about this is. I'll just reveal this. I have stuff about the Herald. That if certain things happen, I like essentially upgrade being a Herald, which is very cool and very fun thing that Will created with that. But yeah, I have to cast a certain amount of spells, and then I get more things with the Herald.
It's not.
Which
Will is an achievement hunter at heart, so
he really
it
is.
helps.
He's an
So he
achievement
does that.
hunter. He is an achievement hunter.
I want to
Take
get the
away
wording
destiny,
right.
but you can't take the destiny out of the boy.
Hey, he's a Kingslayer for a reason.
He is a Kingslayer for a reason.
I love knowing that, Dan.
Genuinely, do a little bit of blood magic for him, and he'll go, "Yes, what do you want?" And look, so there's a couple things you have to do, and it's fine.
Yeah.
So
It's fine. Well, there's no downside.
Every DM has their Achilles heel, and for Will, it's just blood magic.
For Will, it's blood on it.
it's just like I cut my hand open. I use a level 5 spell slot. Yes.
Make it level 9, brother.
This is how I know I won't be killed again, is because I'm starting to go down the blood magic path. But did you guys hear Kyle?
No.
He goes, "It's funny you think that."
Yikes on bikes. By Will.
Yikes on bikes.
There was a brief moment I thought we were gonna lose Valor last week, but we didn't, and it was very anime and cool. But anyways, the thing mine says for the next level to unlock, because I've unlocked like the two levels of Xenophir for Valor, to get to the next level, I will be honest, it says unveil the great and terrible secret of the wheel to unlock.
I love
Rachel can't figure out the secret.
It was the friends you
It's
made
fine.
along the way, Rachel. Come on.
It was the friends I made along the way.
great and terrible secret.
The great and terrible. And if I figure that out, Xenophir goes to the next level. And I was like, this level got me Star Cutter and a bunch of other cool stuff that I haven't used yet. So what will the third level be? But I and Valor are not smart enough to figure out the great and terrible secret of the wheel. So I don't know if we'll ever get it.
Sal has a rock.
Dan,
That's
is there
all
a
I have.
cryptic thing on yours, or it's just the spells?
Let's see. How do I go to that? Google
Yeah,
Docs.
pull it up. Next question is for Woody. You're on deck.
I'm
Sorry.
Ready.
Oh fuck. Oh, there it is. I just read something that I've never read before.
Daniel.
And
Two big thumbs up.
I cannot believe
What? Read
Oh,
it.
I'm
Dan.
dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. I'm so sorry. For everyone in
Can
the
you tell us-
chat,
Can you tell us what you thought it was, and then what
I thought it
actually
was.
is?
I thought it was a quote, and then the name of the quote was Gavalier.
Oh.
But it wasn't.
I don't think so.
Take me there.
The name is something different.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, it just says awaken and ascended. Awaken is cast 100 levels worth of spells to unlock.
That's sick. Are you keeping track of that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, thank God.
Get spamming.
I have.
Start spamming.
No, but it doesn't count. I'm not a. Oh, it's obviously not. Is it cantrips? No. because it's not a leveled spell.
Mm.
It says it casts 100 levels worth of spells. So I have to assume.
You keep track of all that?
Yeah, I have a counter next to, in my character sheet. I have a counter next to
Hmm.
my spells whenever I cast spells. So
Okay.
Pretty neat.
That's cute.
This is very exciting.
Freaking
Yeah.
cool, if you ask me.
it's fun. We'll see. We'll see what
Well,
happens when.
Princess.
Yeah.
We fed some tinfoil tonight. Thank you, Dan.
Oh, someone in the chat just asked. Just said the name of what's on my thing.
Oh, Galandivar.
Landivar.
Not Gary.
Not Gary. That's dyslexia
Hey,
for you. But I can
Will,
read.
what the
I
fuck
can
are
read
you
what that
saying?
says. Actually, now that because I didn't know. Yeah. It says to know oneself is to attain rare wisdom. To know the true mysteries of the realms is to achieve enlightenment. To know what none other should ever understand. That is the great burdens of aeons. May it sink into you. May it sink you into an ocean of silent epiphanies.
Oh.
Landavir, he who thinks in silence.
Say what you will about Will Champion, when he writes a little like text thing on an item, fucking
He cooks.
slaps.
He cooks.
Fucking
Fucking
slaps.
He's like,
slaps.
it must
And it's because
serve
that
cunts.
son of a bitch would go read all the grimoires of
Yeah.
Destiny. And
He
just
has
get-
them all
just
printed.
ripped up
He
for
has
them.
the physical books. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Man's a legend. I will always remember the lantern, Sartor's fucking giant thing. Exquisite.
Yeah.
That was.
Will
Anyway.
has just like script in his head of stuff like that he can just like.
Will has scripture in his head.
Will has scripture in his head.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
I apologize.
There was one time when Miles and I, we were probably high, and he just said like, I think Will is like the nerdiest person I've ever met, and that's saying something knowing all of you, but like he just knows like so much about certain things.
Will just had a tingle go down his spine right now.
Yeah.
I've
He
told
sees
Will
you.
that Miles has said that before.
Yeah.
He's alright.
And he's always been like that. Don't think it's something new. He's always
Sorrow's
John-
prayers.
I love the close up.
With the lighting and the background you have right now, you can't get that close to the camera because I'm ready to like wire $1 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Don't threaten me with a good time. What are you talking about? Well, hold on.
You look like you're an extra in like an SKU.
Wait, Rachel, you got $1 million?
You got $1 million, Rachel?
Yeah, you've been holding out on us?
Wait, been holding out on us?
If I did,
Rachel's
I
a
would
millionaire.
I don't like this.
if I did, I would have bought a house for us all to live in and recorded already.
That would be awesome.
Could have been a really
That's
cool
so you guys
fire
know I
station.
don't. Yeah. The this is a lighter
Please.
non-tinfoil question for Woody. Would drop. This was an actual question, and then I added the secondary question. Does Sal paint his own nails, or does he ask others, such as, is it Cantissa?
Antisa.
Cantissa, or his lovely boy, Keno? But I also wanted to ask in general, because I do love the nail polish, like, how did you decide on this sick look that you came up with?
I like wearing nail polish.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got the art, I looked at it, I'm like, ooh. Because like the hand was just like right there, and I'm like, that's gotta have some sort of flair.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, look, give me like a subdued nail polish. So really just like Woody likes to wear nail polish. As for the end game, I think it's a bit of both. I think it's when he needs to put it on and do it himself, he will, and he'll happily do that, and it's a nice little soothing moment for him. But also, if he wants to have a little like pedicure moment with his people, he'll choose to do so. I think it's situational on when he wishes to use his nail polish powers. Yeah, maybe it'll be like kissing Kate Barlow and put poison in them.
What's his go-to color for nail polish? Does he
Tired
have
of
like
his
one that
grandpa.
he's drawn to more often?
Sure. I think the color that he has in the art, like that, it's like a very like earthy, warm, like brownish kind of, but like also like kind of gives the idea like just nice offset like the bright colors in his hair and in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask about the hair. Ooh,
Yeah.
Drew.
Is it always solid color? Do we get designs? Like we get like
French tip,
fun little moments on the nails?
Definitely. I think it's that's comes situationally. I think when he does it himself, he will usually do solid colors, or maybe do like one that's like a different color, just to like throw in something extra.
Ooh, what finger is his accent nail on?
It changes. It's usually either a pointer finger or a ring finger. One of those four.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
I personally had a question. I think about the choice with having the green in the hair, but also because you mentioned the hand on the chest. My favorite thing the first time I saw the tarot card was having like the hand over the heart and the knife behind the back. I was just like, chef's kiss.
Yeah, I mean
Was
that's
that something you and Anna came up with?
That's all Anna. That's wow. Anna cooking. Like that, Anna wanted to, because it's the hangman, and the hangman has the leg behind, and Anna wanted to symbolize that with that, and with the arm, and also that's just like where his melee dagger is. So, and it's one that's one of his weapons that means more to him than like just the throwing daggers that he has or the discs he throws. Yeah. So, yeah, it was all. I just said like I want it to be like a lower back sheath, and Anna cooked, and sure, yeah.
She really did.
Yeah.
Green in the hair for flavor.
Yeah. So the original idea for Sal goes back to a home game, and I just liked the idea of having like as an Asmar having this sort of like coppery, like have it be in like your hair just is like beautiful copper color, and then like having it like get that oxidized kind of like shock into it, and again I just kind of like sent Anna ideas of the color palettes, and Anna cooked, and better than I could ever imagine for Sal.
I loved also when I watched Sons of Uthevanon that you guys both have like the little bits, like the greenish and then the blue in the hair, and I was like, this is so cute.
Yeah.
They should kiss. They should be boyfriends.
Yeah.
Maybe Sal is just meant to end up in a polycule.
Is a polycule
Continue, Dan.
Is a polycule
Think it through.
Is it a thing that what's the cule part?
You know what?
It's Kuel, like Kewl.
I'm pretty sure it's molecule, actually.
We'll explain it to you after.
Dan, I don't know the Latin base for polycule and what cule means.
I'm gonna Google it. Here we go.
The etymology. Yeah.
There's molecules.
What is a poly?
It's like a group.
Cule.
Sit back and enjoy the ride, folks.
A network of individuals who are romantically or sexually connected through various relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You should check out the Ship It threads on our Discord.
That's basically polycules.
Yep.
Whoa. Oh, there's a Wikipedia page.
I'm gonna add on actually same question to Drew before I do your actual question. The blue, the little bit of blue in the hair. The hair in general.
It's natural.
Yeah?
Ooh. Yeah. The blue, he's an elf, you know?
Fair.
I wanted to, when I was designing this character, I was trying to be, I was thinking, the first thing in my head, I was like, I'm not a human. I didn't want to do Ryujin again. So I wanted to like add things that were fantastical to me and not normal or not human. So I was like, the little blue highlights created this magical effect in the hair. The skin color still created the ethnicity for me that connected me to the character, but still was a fantastical color. You know, it's not a normal human skin color. So those are the kind of ideas I was thinking of when I was going. Also, I was looking at animes, like in my favorite kinds of characters and what kind of vibes they had. So, you know, I was mashing that all into one little being and creating a little baby. And Anna ate as we saw. Like,
Yeah.
these were incredible pieces of art. So yeah.
He looks amazing. That I'm glad you mentioned Ryujin, because that leads us into the next question that was submitted, which does your current character also adopt, in parentheses, steal baby animals, or was that just a Ryujin thing? And then I will add on to this, is there a hobby that you have now that we just have yet to see?
I would say no. And also Ryujin's habit of doing so was more a Drew thing, because Drew couldn't handle himself in a situation and really wanted to
You're outing yourself on the internet here.
I had to have. But to be fair, this isn't the first time I've done this with a character. Woody can attest to this. My very first character, I did a very similar thing in collecting odd creatures and menageries of animals. So it's definitely a Drew quirk. I don't plan to allow this quirk to have any hold over Keno.
Yeah.
If
I don't believe it.
so happens, do not blame me, please.
But you just
I am
Who else is
learning.
there to blame?
Look,
No, there's
I'm
no
learning.
blame. There's your heart for a creature that needs a companion.
Built
It's
this way,
beautiful.
you can't help it.
And if there's a mom in the way, she's gotta go.
If there's someone clip that. Wait, no,
Like,
maybe
I
don't.
can
Maybe
do
don't. Maybe don't. Maybe don't.
Wait, is that the opposite of the dad that's stepped up? Is the
I'm pulling the plug on this conversation. Is there a hobby that you have, like, maybe in mind currently that we haven't seen, or is that like a secret that will be shared with your with your future boyfriend Sal later?
Excellent.
Here's another moment of honesty. Any kind of hobby, I usually come up with in the moment, like I'm feeling it, and I'm like, this is definitely something my character does, and then I just start doing that. So I don't have like a concrete plan of a thing or a hobby that Keno has, but it will come. It will be organic, and that's what I love, to live in the moment. So we'll figure it out.
We just got to get you guys on screen again.
Yes, that too.
That's the first step.
Cool.
I can't wait for our future boyfriend Sal to see this. So the next question is, why did you do a thumbs down, Dan?
What?
I'm sorry, Darth. One more time.
What did I do?
You did a thumbs down.
Oh, I fully didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me hold on.
So wow. The next question is a combination too, actually, for me, because they're kind of about the change that happened post 21. From Emma, did I plan for Valor to be the Temperance upright, or did it just naturally work out that way? And then Prometheus asked a really good question about the process behind Valor becoming an Oath of Redemption paladin, and asked if it was because of the way she died with the inter-party conflict, or is it more with Vikestar lore? Very short answer for Emma's question. I had no idea that was going to happen. I had no idea 21 was going to go the way it goes, and I had no idea until Will said, now, like, the tarot card has been turned, that is what the result of it would be. And it's really cool, like, reading more about the card and really feeling how much it made sense when that happened, but was not expecting that at all. I thought I would probably have to pick a new one at some point. For the Oath of Redemption, I think I loved learning about paladins. I'd never even like thought about playing a paladin until this time, and now I'm obsessed. That that really, I think, combines the teachings of what Lenore would teach to Sanove growing up, to like not be like the older brothers, to use words, not your fist, to like try and like fix things with peace and with talking to people and with a smile first, with like kind of her current goal a bit of to be like not a tool but a weapon for Vikestar. So I love the like Oath of Redemption of like, I'm gonna give you a chance, we're gonna talk this out, but I will also take care of business if I need to. And it's just very fun. So it makes sense. When I read it, Will actually suggested it because I was a little overwhelmed going through all the Paladin stuff. I remember talking to you about it, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. It's a lot mechanically to do in a turn. And yeah, I just think it really works. She's too bad she's not that great at talking though. Yet. She's getting better.
She's getting better.
But she really goes to step 2 real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's my answer. All question, also from Emma, related to tarot. When picking the tarot card for the characters, was it immediately clear which ones fit, and did any characters have a close second choice? You would technically start first, but I'm going to start first just because I was just talking about tarot. I hope that's okay.
No.
I went back and looked when we were sending all of our stuff back and forth, and our ideas, and my first choice initially for Lenore was the Wheel of Fortune reversed, with the Temperance reversed as my second choice. And I think we had both had Wheel of Fortune, and so then Will was like, we don't want to have duplicates, so then I reread everything, and I was like, Temperance reversed it is for Lenore, and then it just worked out perfectly that now Valor is the upright. But then I will pass it over to you.
Wow. Thanks. So once I read through, because Will sent us a link to like this tarot website that was kind of like a good example of what he was thinking and like what we should go for. So once I like read through all of those and really thought about it, it was pretty clear for the Chariot. I think that, forget the wording of Wheel of Fortune. I think for Wheel of Fortune, it was in my head, like I pictured like the wheel, but like it was also like a hurricane.
The TV show.
What?
Never mind. Continue.
Oh.
What you're saying is beautiful.
And a hurricane came and
Pictured it like a hurricane. I'm so sorry. Please continue.
But then as I read it more and more, I was like, oh, this isn't actually this doesn't fit. Yeah.
Chariot was a good choice.
Excellent choice.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass it to Drew. I don't think is able to answer at this moment, so I'm gonna go to John.
I think Drew is talking to someone.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting, for I creating a list, I was like, oh, interesting. Tower was always at the top of my list, and I remember bringing it to Will, and basically before I'd finished the sentence, he went, "Oh no, you're the tower," and I was like, "Oh," and he was like, "Yeah, no, I thought that would be very obvious. Like, I know that. You should know that. You're the tower." And I was like, "Oh, cool." He was like, "Yeah, I don't really care about." Like that is the one thing that I won't change. And I was like, okay. And naturally in the classic Will Champion threat and promise way, it's like that feels uh-oh. And so that as soon as that conversation was had, I was like, yeah, okay, I can sort of see where this is going. So destruction of stable structure.
I mean, it's real, John. Think about it.
Oh, I know.
Have you said? I'm sorry. Have you said what Gary's is?
No. Does anyone have a guess?
Oh no, I thought it
Give me a
was
second.
Fool.
Hold on. Let me go on my website.
A fool.
I did say
Did
this.
Yeah.
Oh, you did say it
on
stream.
stream.
It was the Fool.
I don't remember if I said it on stream or not. But yeah, the fool.
Never mind.
The fool is his.
Love that.
I do think I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I couldn't remember if it was, but that's the fool, and that one also, as Will and I were talking, we were like, oh, I wonder what it is, and then he was like, God, the fool, and I was like, yeah, you're so right. So Luckily, I usually can poke and prod Will into being like, explain this to me. I don't have to do my own research. You know it. Fucking tell me what you think.
Why is he the fool?
That's a great question. We'll find out, won't we?
On the next episode of
Without going into spoilers, just talk to us about the card and how it relates to your character.
From my understanding of the Fool, the idea of new beginnings, start of a journey, semi-clean slate. The potential, or rather how to put this delicately, an openness for potential. There are a lot of different roads, a lot of different places, internally and externally, that the Fool can represent. Unlimited potential, kind of. For Gary, as we've seen, man is on a soul-searching journey to begin with, and now has been placed in a very particular avenue that he himself wasn't exactly aware of, and is now trying to make the best out of that situation. And as these adventurers have come and thrown another wrench into the other avenues are being opened. That's my take.
Okay.
Dope.
Acceptable.
Thank you.
Drew, did you ever consider another tarot card, or was it immediately obvious?
I think I chose tarot card in conjunction with, because I initially for this campaign had a completely different character. It was going to be first of all a wizard, a blood mage at that, and it was going to be completely different. And I knew that we were also attaching tarot cards. So when I scrapped that character, I came up with with the new with my tarot card death in mind at the same time, kind of. So I guess it was always kind of ingrained within the character creation for Keno, because it was kind of the second iteration and final iteration of what I'm going to be doing for Dark Age. And now Sons of Luthevanon, but yeah.
I love that.
Did I answer the question?
It did.
Yeah,
You're
you
just
did.
like, that's what it is.
It was immediately intrinsic to the idea. I love that. I think that's really cool.
Didn't struggle at all. Moving around. Woodrap.
You're muted,
Brother
Woody.
Dearest, you are muted.
I wasn't gonna tell him.
Wiener.
I
Oh,
was just-
wiener. Oh, wiener. For me, when we were talking about tarot, I just did a 6-card tarot pull for Sal, and actually I have it. I grabbed my little notebook to see, and Hanged Man was my number 3 pull. When the ones before were Death, High Priestess, Judgment, the Devil, and the World were my other ones that I pulled. And just like talking through all those with Will. Hanged Man. Also, I think the third one is like what you're afraid about when you pull usually. Like what your fear is. And definitely like what I was playing with in the idea of like Sal's character and what he wants to do and what he is pulling him back. The Hangman fit perfectly. So that it was very quick. But yeah, I just did a little tarot pull, and it was and I was like, I decided just to pick one of them, and I think some of them were already taken by that point, already been claimed, but then Hangman just fit just right, and who knows, maybe if I ever come back as a different character, it'll be the Devil.
Just right.
I really hope Sal makes it for this purpose.
Wow.
Hey.
What does that mean, Rachel?
I don't want to see the devil card.
The devil gets a bad rep. Devil gets a
The
bad
Devil's
rep.
not that bad. The Devil's not that bad.
Not as bad as the Tower.
And Tan, I just saw in chat, Tan, an idea I have, not far off.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, that's why it's bad. Next on our queue is Hannah.
Magician was always my number one, but I knew that there was at least one more mage in the party, so I didn't want to monopolize the Magic Boy card if if somebody else was married to it. But Magician was always my number one. The other cards I had were the Hierophant, the Star, and Death for Sinov.
Death is intriguing.
Yeah. I knew Sinov was going to go on a journey, and the Star had to deal with, like, one of Sinov's, like, core personhoods. Yeah, but the Magician was perfect, and continues to be perfect, both upright and reversed for Sinov.
Like it. Yeah.
I was told. Am I next?
Yes, you
Yes.
are.
I was told. Sorry, I have the stream here, so I'm like, it's opposite here. Am I next?
Am I?
So previous to this campaign, I knew truly nothing about tarot cards. And then when I created this character, when I sent my backstory, Will goes, "You're the hermit." And I went, "Oh, okay." And that was the end of the conversation. I never pulled anything else. Because I didn't know that much about it. Now that I've learned a lot more about them, have this whole thing with the cards and like Cartomancer. There are some others that might be interesting, but I think the Hermit works on a lot of levels because it's definitely where he started this campaign, and I think it kind of transcends time into where he is currently. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But I was given that.
That's
Bucket
so
of
interesting.
proofs.
Yeah. Will was like, "This is yours."
I do just briefly want to ask, because I'm curious. I think we've talked about this. Does everyone have like a personal one that they themselves feel is either representative or like that they always are drawn to?
Oh, I need
Ooh.
I need to look it up. Hold on.
That's some homework.
That's fine. If not, I was just curious. That just made me think. I was curious.
I don't.
That's fine. That's fine.
I don't.
The Fool.
Maybe the Hanged Man. I don't know.
I change too frequently.
That's respect. That's respect.
I do have one very fun, silly, not silly, it's very important, but it's not stream related. And then I'll do one more stream related question, but really quick, I need you to do this as if your life depends on it, and we're gonna go down the line. So it's Dan, Hannah, Woody, John, Drew, me, Kyle. Now, what is your pizza order? Daniel.
Barbecue chicken pizza.
Whoa.
Absolutely. It's the best pizza.
Okay.
Gluten-free, dairy-free, meat-free, something with pineapple, and something that's spicy.
Whoa.
What's me? Something with pineapple, something spicy, and either grandma's or New York style.
Pineapple pepperoni if for a group, and for just John, throw a little onion, throw a little pepper on.
So much pineapple in this group. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, and I'll speak for Will. Yes, for that.
This is a pro pineapple family.
Yeah.
There are two kinds of pizzas for me. There is a barbecue chicken pizza with pineapple and barbecue sauce, and then there's the pepperoni, bacon, onion, red onion, specifically,
Red onion,
and a little bit of sausage. That's my pizza.
Yeah,
I eat
Hawaiian.
meat.
It's ham and
Yeah,
pineapple for me, and this is Ari.
What a count.
Pineapple is important.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
I didn't. Kyle?
Do I get to go next?
Yes.
I would say A really great one that I've had is like with a garlic Parmesan white sauce, kind of like pizza for the sauce, and then bacon. Classic pepperoni.
Wow, we're getting some slander in the chat about our
We are.
pizza
I see
with
it, I see
with
it, I
all of
see
us
it.
being in New York.
I would push back. I mean, a classic New York style cheese or classic New York style pep. Of course, I'm gonna take that. I'm going to worship that.
I mean, paper.
crave that.
You know what? I'll throw down paper thin pizza that the cheese falls off. Not a fan.
Oh really?
Wow.
Oh, I will disagree with you on that.
Yeah, I will disagree with that. It's also better than
If I could
it's
eat
better
a
than
dollar
Chicago
slice
style.
pizza on
Like
the street, oh my god, it would be over for you bitches.
I love me some Sicilian.
That's great.
Not grandma.
Kyle,
Not
literally go
grandma.
Google grandma style pizza and look what comes
doing it
up.
right now.
It's I like some thicky pizza.
But not Chicago
Oh,
style.
absolutely. That
No,
nice,
I mean I don't
that
even know
beautiful-
what I couldn't even tell you what Chicago style is.
Deep dish.
I don't
It's
know.
a deep dish. Probably like Detroit style.
Ooh, Detroit's good though.
Pan
What's
style.
Detroit style?
I have an
Pan
important
style
question after
pizza
we
is like
finish
a
the pizza
Similar
conversation.
to Sicilian.
Yeah, yeah.
Thinner.
That's
Basically, it's
grandma's.
focaccia with pizza on top. Like who would say no to that?
To what?
Focaccia with pizza on top.
Delicious.
Terrible.
If you had to choose,
Hey.
if y'all had to choose between New York style pizza or New York bagels,
New York bagels. Bagels. Bagels.
Bagels.
New York bagels are the best
It's not
bagels
even-
on the planet.
I just
It's
eat
not
them,
even
by the handful.
They're
It's
Give me a dozen.
it's the water, baby.
It's the water, baby.
It's the water.
It's
big
the
skin
it's the little
people.
pieces
The
of
water.
tiny
Good.
tiny krill.
oh, New York bagels are outstanding.
So good.
I miss you, Drew. I
Someone
miss
in
you, Drew,
chat
so
asked
much.
what
I
kind
miss
of
you.
cream cheese.
I'm
Well,
really
no,
glad we
it's
have.
like-
I do want to credit. I think I know who submitted it. Let me check. Nikki Agent asked this. Thank you for asking. If you couldn't tell, we are Bards of New York. Most of us are in New York currently. We're not from New York.
Yeah, actually, none of us are from New York.
Yeah,
We're
we
not.
are we are
Yeah.
We are currently
Of New
in
York.
New York.
Yeah.
Of
What?
New York. We did
You
not
guys-
grow up in New York.
You
Like,
guys aren't
pizza
from New
order
York.
doesn't delineate like you
What?
like what you like, you know.
John.
You like what you like.
John, is this a bit?
This is just bullshit. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do here.
What are you
Does
talking
everyone
about, John?
have like a go-to bagel shop that they like are like this is where the best bagels are? Because I have two.
Yeah.
The bakery up the street from us.
It's
I
insane.
used to have a bagel cart guy that I saw every morning outside
That's
a
great.
job that I had, to the point that like I'm walking down the street and we'd make eye contact and he would start making my order. And like if
Nice.
I didn't have enough like cash, he's like, "It's okay, I'll see you tomorrow."
That's
And that was like the dream.
Rachel. That's my dream. I've wanted since I was a child to go into a restaurant and for the person in the restaurant to say, "Dan, the regular."
Yeah.
I'm getting emotional talking about it right
It was
now.
our deli
I-
across the street from work. Just gonna shout it out real quick.
Yeah.
I would
I
get
don't
that
know-
a lot.
There was a certain chicken place that really tricked us very well.
There was.
Oh,
Chicken
yeah.
place? Why do you say like no free ads? Like
We could give them. We could. Who worked there? What famous person worked at that particular establishment?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, it was Jay-Z.
They had
Yeah.
this shitty picture of Jay-Z like taped up on their wall.
Oh, that was Crown Fried Chicken.
Yep.
Crown fried
Yeah.
chicken? Yeah.
We're good. None
Yeah.
of us live
Oh.
over there anymore, so
I
we're
thought
safe to
about-
say it.
I was coming home from a show the other night, and I'm like, damn, I'd give my right nut for some Crown Fried Chicken.
Woody.
Oh, that
Are
shit
you
was
getting-
buzz.
So is that what you're getting
Crown
Woody.
fried
after
chicken
tomorrow?
tomorrow?
Are you getting chicken
flying
tomorrow?
for
Also,
Dude, maybe I'll get fried chicken tomorrow. Somebody-
But will it be Crown Fried Chicken?
A soul for a soul.
A soul for a soul.
Or-
John.
End it. That's the stream.
One more question, but I don't.
No, okay, one more question. One more question.
Oh, I
were
have
you
a
gonna-
question. I have a question for the characters.
Okay.
If
They're
our
not here.
characters,
Oh.
if our characters had one final meal, what would it be?
Well, this isn't fair.
That's
What do
not
you
fair,
mean?
Dan.
What do you mean?
For Alis.
Not everyone
Oh.
eats.
Say that you can eat.
Megan?
Say that your character can eat. Let's expand or
Mhm.
suspension of disbelief.
Like we eat
Yeah.
in appearance.
Alis, what type of person would you like
yeah.
to eat?
Nope. Not that
Okay,
kind of
all
stream.
right, fine.
Not that kind of stream.
Or is it?
Where is it?
That's
It's
why.
good for the people who eat. Is it going to be a specific type of fish for Theus?
No, it'd be a hamburger.
Oh my god. Abria.
Wait, I don't watch the show. It's Alis again. Bria.
Abria.
You should,
Casual fan.
you don't have to watch all the episodes, but there's a
She
few
didn't-
that you should maybe catch up.
There's a
on.
few that you should maybe
She
go
didn't
peruse.
mean to. It was an accident. Okay.
I accidentally ate that person's heart.
It was
How
an
about
that
we were
one.
all there, John?
Gobble,
We were
gobble.
all
It
there.
was a nat one. Multiple nat ones.
I don't think
She's just
anything
hungry.
that Alis has done could be considered an
Girl
accident. They are just
dinner.
consequences to her
No.
actions.
Wow. You blow up one train one time, and everyone calls you accountable. Jesus Christ.
You blow up
Fuck
one
me.
train.
God damn it.
Man, I can't
Yeah.
wait for.
You blow up.
Alis is just the walking meme of like actions meet consequences.
Mm-hmm.
But she keeps doubling down. To her credit,
Yeah.
She
she
does.
keeps doubling down.
To credit or
That's
detriment?
to her credit.
Hey, you guys are alive, aren't you? Whoa. Whoa. Mad lot of shit talking from someone who should be dead.
We
are. That was
Dan, to answer your question to the best of my
me.
ability, I don't know the full meal for Sal, but he would want a expertly roasted black coffee to start it off,
Ooh.
and then I don't know what the main meal is, but the final course, and like some biscuits, like a little bit of that, and then the final course for dessert, a pavlova with a nice gin cocktail. I'll be.
I don't know what that is. What's a pavlova?
It's like a meringue bake with like cream and fruit.
I thought it was like
Nice.
when you hear a whistle and you salivate because you think dinner's coming.
That is what I thought you
Uh,
said. I think
That
that's
is exactly what it is.
I think that's Pavlovian.
That's
What?
You were there, Dan. You were there. You had it. You had it by the throat.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching the stream.
We have one more. We have one more question.
Oh, we have one more question.
More question.
We have one question, and I'm gonna say we're gonna keep it short.
Short.
Not too many spoilers, because there's a lot that can continue to happen. And I know some people have not done a full 30 episodes, but in the time we've seen your character, here's another question from Emma. Being over 30 sessions in, is your character still on the path you thought they would be on, or has their course/goals drastically changed from what you anticipated? We're gonna start with... Oh?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, we'll start at the top. Keep it short and sweet. Where you at, Thegus?
Oh, the path that he's on, absolutely not. 1000% not at all where I thought. His goals, some of them are still the same.
Love that. I love that. Hannah?
Yeah.
Sonov's goals remain the same, and I think have just been more reaffirmed the farther along the path she goes. For
hate that.
better or worse.
Wow.
But I think how she has gotten there and the path that she has taken has been quite surprising for me as Hannah. I know I did see another question in there about, like, did I ever plan on being a cleric of Krana or Ishtava? No, I never planned that. I thought it would have been fun to play multiple classes, and I think maybe I manifested that because we didn't plan it. But no, Sonov's goals remain the same. The journey has been an interesting one that I didn't expect. And I am anticipatory and fearful for the future for her.
I am incredibly afraid. Woody, question to you.
For Sal, I can't say that he expected that where he is what would happen, but he set off to find a new path, and he is discovering new paths. So that has met his expectations, but he has no idea on. It was unknown to him how that would happen, and so that's the answer.
Excellent. And Jonathan, to you.
For me, Jonathan, in a perceptive way, like as I said, creating Alis, I wanted someone who really could go one way or the other, and it has gone in a way that I didn't necessarily anticipate. No, we joke about it. I always knew that she was going to be someone who made the wrong call most of the time, and made calls based exclusively on emotion, on things that are faulty, on things that are broken, on an indoctrination that she fully bought into, and then how that has changed and progressed with the relationships she forged and made, and the degrees to which she was willing to give things up she couldn't ever imagine living without, has been really fun and really interesting and unexpected to me. And for Alis, I think we're now at a point, well, frankly, I don't know how much of Alis is there right now. So, yeah.
Yep.
Whoa.
Thank you for that. I thought we would end on a happy note. We will now move to Drew.
Howdy.
I love you, John.
Keno has been in 2 episodes. So not much has really gone down, but his goals remain the same. The trajectory seems to be where he's supposed to be going. He's looking for his cousin who was kidnapped. So I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Did you have a question?
Well, finish what you're gonna say, and then I have a follow-up question for you.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Somebody asked this in a Bards and Crafts, but do you, like, from when you created Keno, since you've only played 2 episodes, I want to know, from your creation of Keno and then when you started playing it with Woody, did you find things that surprised you about the character that you didn't expect or didn't plan on, either personality-wise or how he navigated the world or navigated relationships?
Yeah, I think it was really the first episode for me was very surprising. As I was living in the moment. So I didn't expect Will to bring in a whole fam that I had created in that at the very beginning for me. So in that moment I was like, this one was really cool. It was and so I had to navigate interacting with my family, but also trying to, because in my mind, in what I think of Keno is someone who is to be honorable and good, but will throw that away easily if he needs to, and especially in a desperate moment for a member of his family. So in that very beginning, when we had kidnapped Sal, it was just really fun to kind of be there and see Will bring these characters that I'd created to life. So that was, I don't know, that was really cool. That was a really weird tangent. I don't know if that even answered your question, but
No, it was great.
It was a beautiful answer.
It was brill.
Good answer. Good answer.
I cannot wait to see more of him.
Good answer.
Mine's very straight forward, and I think everyone. I forgot the word forward for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
My question's very straightforward.
Very
Or my
straight.
answer is very.
What's going
This
on?
feels less straightforward.
I know. It's.
Yeah.
I'm channeling my inner Lenore and Valor right now. No. I am not on the path that I thought I would be. This is absolutely ridiculous. And no, her goals are not the same. This is absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea what's going on. Everything's crazy different than what I anticipated a few months ago. But I don't think that's a surprise to anyone.
What?
You know, it hasn't been like a complete 180, but it's been just such a significant switch that I had never anticipated happening in this way. And any change I thought would be something that happens really long over time. So
a 150.
A 150, yeah. So, but I'm very excited and it's really fun and it's definitely like more challenging. But yeah, the answer is no and no.
JB set out with a more of an idea of like what he wanted to accomplish in like as a person rather than just kind of like what accomplish at like in deeds. So I think that it's not that he is surprised that he ended up where he ended up, in the sense that like could have ended up anywhere. He hopped a train and then met this blue-haired girl who was like, I'm going to Valyria. And so but I think that what he is surprised about, and I guess what I'm surprised about as well, of like how strongly he has come to feel about the cause of Sentinel, like of that like ideal. So I think that has definitely been like a change. I think also like having to help a lot of the people in the party, it seems JB has kind of like not really been focused on himself. But that was probably also like what he like subconsciously would want to do. It's easier to solve other people's problems.
We've noticed.
Thanks.
We talked about it on Bards and Crafts.
We did.
Watch the last Bards and Crafts where Kyle was there. Talked about it. This has been lovely, y'all. The questions have been amazing. The answers have been wonderful. I really appreciate everyone being honest, if not too honest, and having a fun time tonight.
I miss you all.
So we're all playing rivals after this, is what it's looking.
Can we play rivals? Let's play some rivals.
I mean,
I'll play some rivals.
I'm probably gonna watch Survivor with Sarah because I have surgery at 5:30 in the morning. So
5:30 in the morning, Woody.
5:30 in the morning. So
Your puppy's already asleep for you.
Your puppers.
She said,
I guess that's a skill.
I'm already in bed. Be like me, Dad.
It's the rare moment where she's sweet.
She's so cute when she's sweet.
She's such a cutie.
Yeah. The rival stream will come. It is technical difficulties we have to figure out.
Yeah. It's hard.
We will all be thinking of you tomorrow, Woody. And
Yeah, Woods.
We love you.
We love you, buddy.
we'll see everyone else
Love you,
on the
Woody.
Discord, and we'll see you all next week for a very fun episode. I'm anticipating.
episode.
Episode 37?
37.
And you know what rhymes with 37? 30 heaven.
30 heaven.
I was about to sing.
What's that? Okay.
What does it mean? Who knows? Who knows? Could mean anything. Could mean anything, y'all.
Before we sign off, I have to say thank you to everyone who's in chat and sharing your favorite moments and stuff about your characters and just stuff about yourselves. It's really lovely to kind of do like these more informal streams and hang with y'all. And we will do more of these, we promise.
Yeah.
The year will not go by before we do another one. So keep submitting your questions. And
we read all of them, even if we aren't answering them live right now.
We do read all of them. All of them, including some of the trolling questions that I know some of you submitted.
Somebody's mad that their question wasn't answered and they want their money back.
We will raid somebody, so spread that good bony love. Go rest up, because next week I'm sure we won't be ending this early.
There's
No.
no way.
There's no way we'll be ending at 9:30. No.
No.
Not at all.
Love you guys.
And send me
Those
what you know in your
days,
magic
Bye, y'all.
circles.
Take this week to catch up.
We love you.
And eat some ketchup.
I'm gonna go.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye.